Good evening, good folks, and welcome to the City of Muskegon City Commission for this general session on Tuesday, May 12th, 2026. It's good to be here with you all. Thank you. Before we get on with our business, I just want to share some information about public comment periods and how we conduct them during our meetings. We have a few different public comment periods. We'll have public hearings towards the beginning. After that, we'll have public comment on agenda items. So anything that's remaining on our agenda for this night, folks can give input directly to the commission on before we deliberate and before we vote. And then we also have general public comment at the end of the meeting, which is additional time for folks to give their input directly to the city commission. During any of these public comment periods, it's a time to give input to the commission. It's not necessarily time for back and forth or Q&A or dialogue. We can arrange that at a separate time and junction if that is desired. Everyone has 3 minutes to give their remarks, regardless of who you are, or where you're coming from, or if you are speaking in person, or if you are joining us by phone, because we do allow phone-in comments as well. We'll do in-person comments first, then we'll go to the phones. If you'd like to give public comment at any of those times, I encourage you to complete the public comment forms at the back of the room. It's on the table there. Please provide your name and home address. Note I will not be sharing your home address, nor will I be asking you to announce that. That's for our records. I will be acknowledging, if you are a city resident, which neighborhood you're joining us from, and if you're not a city resident, if you're not a City of Muskegon resident, which other township, village, or city you may be joining us from. Helpful context as we're receiving input. So without further ado, we're going to get on with the business of our meeting. We're going to be starting with prayer, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. If you care to join us in either of those activities, I ask that you stand if you're still capable of doing so. And we are being led in prayer this evening by Dr. Rob Renberg from Anchor Point Bible Church.
Thank you. Shall we pray? Heavenly Father, we do thank you for a beautiful day. Thank you for the springtime that has the promise of sunshine at least, and we're looking forward to that. We thank you for this evening that has brought so many here today. We thank you for our mayor and vice mayor, for the commissioners. We thank you for those serving in other areas. And Lord, for those who are being honored tonight and recognized, we are proud of them and grateful for the hard work. We pray for those who will be speaking and sharing, for decisions that will be made, for the interactions to be peaceful, to be full of wisdom and truth. We ask, Father, that you would just bless this evening's hour now. In Jesus' name, amen.
I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Pastor.
Thank you.
May we have roll call, please?
Commissioner Kilgo,
Present.
Vice Mayor Keener, absent. Commissioner German,
Here.
Commissioner Jackson, absent. Commissioner Cochin, here. Commissioner St. Clair,
Here.
Mayor Johnson.
Here. All right. We've got a few different honors and awards presentations before we get into our public hearings. First off, recognition of our Muskegon High School varsity Lady Reds and their championship. And I'm going to come on down there to read the proclamation, and I'll read it up here first. Y'all heard of this before because I presented it back in March after your win at the Redmond Potter Gem, but for everyone else I'm going to read it and share, and then I'm going to present to each of our players here. So really appreciate you joining us this evening. Whereas the Muskegon High School Lady Reds basketball team demonstrated extraordinary determination, resilience, and unity throughout the 2025 to 2026 season, finishing with an outstanding 26-2 record. And whereas the Lady Reds achieved an historic milestone by becoming the first girls basketball team in Muskegon County to win a Michigan High School Athletic Association state championship. And whereas on March 21st, 2026, at the Breslin Center, the Lady Reds rallied from a significant early deficit to defeat Detroit Renaissance High School 34-29 in the Division I state championship game, demonstrating exceptional grit and perseverance. And whereas the team overcame adversity throughout the season, never losing belief, and proving that unity and persistence prevail. And whereas this achievement was led by outstanding contributions from senior combo guard and 2026 Miss Basketball runner-up, Mariah Sain, junior center Dynasty Bell, senior point guard Cece Bonner, and senior Jayla Martin, along with the dedication of their teammates. And whereas under the leadership of head coach Bernard Loudermill, the team embraced a vision of excellence, overcoming challenges and growing into champions. And whereas the Lady Reds have inspired the Muskegon community, serving as role models and leaving a legacy of pride, perseverance, and achievement. Now, therefore, I, Mayor Kenneth D. Johnson, on behalf of our magnificent city of Muskegon and the City Commission, do hereby recognize and congratulate the Muskegon High School Lady Reds basketball team for their historic season and state championship victory, and I commend them for bringing honorable distinction and great pride to our community. This championship was historic on a couple of counts, one of which being the first girls basketball team championship in Muskegon County, entirety of our county, but also the first girls sports championship in the history of Muskegon Public Schools. And you now adorn that wall in Redmond as you so deservedly do. And so hats off again on the great work and progress you made and the pride that you brought to our community. You are the epitome of excellence, and that's what our community needs, and that's what is deserving, to celebrate and uplift the excellence of our youth and our students of Muskegon Public Schools. And so I will like to recognize each player, some of whom have been able to join us, some of whom have not, but I do have a certificate for each of you to take with you. Antonique Sargent. Would you like the would you like them to stay?
I would love that. I would love
If you don't mind staying up here. We got some time. So we really would love to have all the team up here for that. Tamara Hunter. Not sure if she's around. Maya Diesel. Oh yes, there you are. Dejanay Piggy. Oh, Dejanay. Did I say Dejanay? Dejanay. Okay.
You said it right.
Did I say it right first time? Okay. Kamaya Bonner? Kamia. Kamaya, okay. She's not able to make it join us this evening. Amora Hobson. Mariah Antoinette Sain. Kennedy Loudermill. I saw your name on the other day. Wow, I remember getting lunch with you and Phyllis. Like you were just knee-high to a grasshopper. Time flies. All right. I don't believe she's able to join us right now, but I want to recognize Lauren Gates. As well as Nikira Briggs. And Jemiah Franklin. Oh my goodness. Dynasty Bell. I don't believe Jayla Martin. No, but let's give it up to Jayla Martin. And Charity Jones. Before I give it to the head coach, I do want to recognize the other members of the coaching team and staff. We have assistant coaches Maurice Sain Sr., Juwan Loudermill, Deisha Day, Jasmine West, Kelvin Vance, Maurice Sain Jr., athletic trainer Emily Lopsinger, and managers Casey Webb and Trevion Johnson. And last but certainly not least, head coach Bernard Loudermill. So we do have a couple more things to present, and I've got more certificates for you to take with you to hand to the rest of the team. We do want to present. First we'll go with, if you don't mind, I'm going to squeeze right through here. Get this. So, wait, oh my goodness. I saw the white sweatshirt. You come on up here. You know what? We didn't have on this list, but I do not want to leave him out whatsoever. Is it Muskegon High School Athletic Director, Steve Johnson. We have one more sign to present to all of you. That's 426. Class A, girls basketball state champion. All right. Well, Coach, do you have any remarks you wish to share with the commission and our community?
Yes, I would thank the city of Muskegon, obviously you, Mayor, for this recognition of the Lady Reds basketball program. Greatly appreciated. The girls had a great season. Excellent group of young ladies. But I would like to hang my hat on the fact that not only are they champions on the court, but they're also champions in the class as far as being academic. Blessed not to have any injuries this year, and they face
possible. I want to thank the community for supporting us as we made this accomplishment. And lastly, I want to thank my team for making this possible, and I'm really
Being a graduating senior, what does the future hold for you? Where are you going to be next year?
I will be going to North Carolina, Charlotte University to continue my academic and athletic career.
Any other seniors wish to share where they're going to be heading after graduation?
Okay, I will be going to North Carolina A&T.
I'll be attending MCC to continue my athletic and academic career.
Oh, I'll be going to MCC also.
And we have also CC Bonner's not here, will be attending Oakland University to continue her athletic and academic career. Jay Martin will be going to Jackson Community College. Continue her athletic and academic career. We are pleased that we have 6 young ladies going to college for their academics right now. Hoping Tamara will be the 7th when she decides on where she's going to be going this fall. So 7 out of 7 is not bad.
We love to hear that excellence in athletic and academic. We love to hear that. And again, congratulations, and wishing all of the seniors the very best in your next educational career. And to everyone else that's going to be returning, let's get that championship again next year. So we will, I mean, if you want to do photos with family and the signs out there, that you can do so, but leave the signs so we can get them installed. If you want to carry them outside, get photos, carry them around. Otherwise, Jonathan, can you inform Coach Loudermill when we plan on installing those signs?
Yeah.
Yes, here. I don't know. Oh, we could probably make that now. Oh, okay, yeah. This might be more than you. I think we got it perfect.
Pass it along, please.
Congratulations, Coach.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Congratulations again. Good work, man. Appreciate it.
It's gonna be a long. Well, maybe.
One more round of applause. And it's particularly nice to see our Delta Sigma Theta sorors. Did I say that right? Right? In their red and white for matching up with big reds. So I know we're gonna be hearing from you later. This is gonna be a long meeting, though. You might want to try to figure out a way to. You know what? When we get to general comment, I'm gonna ask the commission to suspend the rules so we can accept general public comment at that time as well.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. We do have a couple more under awards and presentations. Next up, recognition of Jessica Grimm. Our city clerk's gonna be leading out on this.
Jessica. They didn't leave because of us, I promise you. I wanted to acknowledge Jessica Grimm here, who has been doing training diligently for the last 3 years, going to week-long trainings, taking all kinds of classes, tests, and more training on top of that. And because of all of that, she received her Michigan Professional Municipal Clerks certification. It's through the Michigan Association of Municipal Clerks. This is not a small feat, and I think it's just very deserving. She is awesome. We think she is such an asset to the city, and we're just very proud of her. Okay.
Yeah, that's too much for her.
She's so modest, the standing ovation ran her out of the room. Well, we congratulate and appreciate Jessica for her contributions to our city. Next up, we have dangerous building enforcement process. This will be a presentation. Oh, really? Okay. So I'm going to let them move up there. You may commence with the presentation. I'm going to bounce for a quick second, but I'll be back. But you may presume with your presentation. If for some reason you need to take action before I get back here, you can choose somebody from amongst yourselves to chair. In fact, I'll just defer to the former vice mayor if you don't mind sharing in the event that you need to. But please proceed.
Any action needed? We're just presenting. Safety Director Tim Kozel, the City of Muskegon.
Steve Stout, dangerous building inspector since November. Before that, I did code enforcement for a couple of summers.
One of the things that we wanted to do, and I've been wanting to do for a while, is just present to the commission our dangerous building process and how it starts from inception through the process of that Steve does throughout, trying to take every step possible to try to work with our owners of these prospective dangerous buildings to put it in front of our housing board for consideration, and then if it's then deemed to be a dangerous building, where it comes to you, and you also have one that you're going to be looking at tonight, which is actually the building that we show here. We're going to show you a flow chart of the process, and I'm going to let Steve run with sort of like an investigation that he would do into a possible dangerous building, okay? Start with the first slide.
First,
There should be a little flow chart one. Is that not on there? Can you go backwards one?
Absolutely.
Start off with that one then, Steve.
I will. Scroll.
Oh,
There
there
it
it is.
All right, so this one, I'll walk you through, and then Steve will walk you through all the steps that he does. So, I'd like to also thank Gabby Poole. She works up in Safe Built. You might recognize the last name. She actually put this together and helped out Steve tremendously to try to get this together to paint the picture for you of what our process is. So first you have that case initiation. It can come in different forms. It could be Steve himself finding a dangerous building, somebody else within Safe Built. It could come from a community member reporting that particular building. The first thing he does is he tries to find out who actually is the ownership. And that's one of the biggest headaches that we encounter, is who is actually our owner of that actual building, and taking that initial step to serve notice on that individual of this possible dangerous building and what we believe is possibly wrong with it. So that order is sent out. It's sent out through different methods, certified mail and through snail mail, if I remember correctly.
Correct.
We then wait for some type of affirmation of receipt, so there can be contact with Steve, so he can continue on with the investigation. He works through this, try to get an inspection, sometimes an all trades inspection of the house, if there's something that really needs to be taken care of. I should back up a little bit. On our houses that we have fires at, we will automatically get into this process too, because we want to make sure that we have it in a habitable. As he goes through that process, if he does get cooperation, he does get a particular owner that really wants to work with us, he'll work with them on it until there gets to a point where our inspectors sign off on it and it is not deemed to be something that's uninhabitable or dangerous. Then, if that does not happen, or we don't have any contact, which he's gonna walk you through, we then put it in front of the Housing Board of Appeals, which meets once a month. He then will present to the Housing Board of Appeals that particular structure. as in the Hubert Street address, which you're going to be hearing about tonight. After that is done in front of Housing Board, he will ask if we don't have much cooperation or they haven't fulfilled their requirements for the Housing Board to deem it as a dangerous building. If they do, through a vote, determined to be a dangerous building, it then will then be put in front of you as a commission to either concur with that decision or not. The owner of the building still has a right to appear at this commission when that happens, to try to work through that still. We try to do everything objectively reasonable to work with our owners so we don't have to put people out on the street or we don't have to demo buildings. We really work hard at that, and you'll see that. City Commission makes their decision. After that, if it is deemed and concurred that it's to be demoed, I think there's a 30-day period for us to be able to not only find a demolition company, but also for the actual owner to appeal it to circuit court. Some of this, I might need help with Brennan, because there's some stuff that they would have to put into circuit court. Phrase for that, Brennan, what is that called? Superintendent control. So there's superintendent control that could happen if the owner does come forward and wants to still try to work on that. And we've had that before. There was a house on Houston that really was a long process with us, with SafeBuilt, and finally, after it got into superintending control, with the courts, we're able to work with Brendan's office to get it actually, now that it's an inhabitable building. After that's done, and either demoed or made inhabitable, then we look at closing out the case. I'll let Steve take it over now as we walk through the actual instance.
Sure. We start with the case initiation. We identify the dangerous building, and there are multiple factors that could come into play with this. As we saw in the first slide, half of this building, the whole wall is caved in. We'll talk about that later, but that's a pretty clear and easy situation to ascertain and to put forward. We take exterior pictures of the building, because obviously I can't go in there unless I've been allowed in. We create a list of the problems. It could be the foundation of the structure, the walls, the old 2x4s or what have you could be rotted, and the house is just completely falling down. There could be a hole in the roof. There can be so many factors in any of this that, you know, it behooves us to document that and to put it down on paper in case things ever do go to court. And, you know, we're trying to get people to cooperate with us, as the chief said. We would go to the historic district commission meeting and meet with them for homes that are in the historic areas. I have one right now I'm going to be dealing with shortly. The ownership and initial notice. We perform a title search on the residence through the Register of Deeds. Try and figure out who all these interested parties are. We send initial notification to the owners with a list of defects, and we allow 2 weeks to respond. I provide my phone number, real easy phone number to remember. Just, you know, give me a call. I'm easy to deal with. We're not that hard. Just a little bit of contact with us will go a long way. If there's no response after a couple of weeks, then we send out the notice and order letter. It's a signed affidavit that would go through the chief's office. I would sign it, the chief would sign it, and would be notarized. I do that, registered mail, certified mail, 2 different types of mail, and then I physically post that to the structure. Take a picture of it and document the date and time with the camera. And then we download that in the computer.
So that notice and order is to let them know that there's a hearing. There's a hearing
Yes.
before the Housing Board of Appeals. So that's what that actually is, and that's what I sign, and that's what. Then
we go in front of the Housing Board of Appeals. It's kind of a hearing. that has a board that's in this room, and I relay the case and investigation to them, providing all the details, along with all the mailings and information. I show them, if needed, the posting, that where I physically posted that. Submit the packet to the Housing Board of Appeals members 10 days in advance before the meeting, so they have time to look at the cases that we're going to present to them. I attend the meeting, I testify at the meeting, and then the possible outcomes to the meeting are the owner agrees to repair, possibly, gets the inspection, obtains the permits, provides a timeline, a reasonable timeline, and request reconsideration from the Housing Board of Appeals to rescind that order that could happen. If there's no resolution, we move towards demolition. That's the last thing that I want to do. I don't want to knock down a building unless I have to.
Some of the things that we encounter with owners that are trying to be cooperative or just appeasing us in ways. We'll get owners that will respond, will come to HBA, I need more time. We give them time. We want them to get time. HBA wants to give them time. But then nothing will happen for 30 days if they give him a 30-day extension or a 60-day extension. He has to again serve notice. Let's come back in front of HBA and we start the process all over again. Sometimes that happens 2-3 times because the HBA really wants to make the person have the time to be able to get it done. There's a lot of patience. There's a lot of patience with the board. There's a lot of patience with the city to try to make this work. But that's sometimes you'll see that there's that delay between the initial notice to the time there's actually a determination is because we're trying to work with this.
After the Housing Board of Appeals meeting, we send out a determination letter, a letter that advises the owner of what the status is with the residence or the commercial building, what have you. It could be that they have deemed it a substandard, a nuisance, and the wording goes on, but that they're moving toward demolition. So at that point, I put together a packet and I submit that to you folks. And tonight we have one on the agenda later, much later in the evening. But I send out a 3-week notice to the owner to advise them of what's going on and this upcoming meeting, as in tonight. I don't know if our owner is going to be here tonight or not. From there, we get with the city clerk, place the item on the agenda, and prepare the packet. Obviously, I attend the meeting. I'm here tonight to explain to you all about the Yuba Street address. We'll issue the final determination that you folks come up with, and the owner has 21 days to appeal it in circuit court.
So last month, we had 3 houses ready to come in front of you for possible concurrence for demolition. Those all 3 were taken off. Well, one of them was actually a fire, and DPW actually had to help us at that fire scene and knock down some walls. After they got notice, they wound up taking care of it themselves on their own dime. So those things happen, but of course it takes a long time to get, finally, sometimes owners should take action. So those notices that we give out, hey, we're about to have the city commission here, that's why sometimes you see those removed, is because there's already been action taken. I'll do my best from now on to let you know on those meetings of why those have been removed, okay?
From there, it's demolition preparation. It's we're dealing with the demolition bids. We have to put together a packet, whole flyer, to put out on the city's website requesting bids to demolish this residence or building or what have you. We unfortunately get to deal with asbestos in a lot of these structures. And so we have a gentleman that comes to town and he tests the entire, I've had them test 3 homes recently and, for asbestos, and one did pretty good. I don't know what the final outcome is going to be yet, but he keeps me up to date as to what's going on with them, and we're trying to progress forward on them. The demo contractor will handle the asbestos abatement. We deal with the bids through the city, and we'll determine at that point when the bids come in who's going to receive the bid. I'll get with the chief and we'll go from there. And the contract will be to the lowest or highest bidder. Notify the contractor to proceed. We come up with a demo agreement, contract, if you will, that I believe we've had the mayor sign in the past, and we proceed with the demo then. The demo, the contractor will then obtain the demo permit. I'll post the notice on the door of the residence or building that they have 7 days to remove their property from the building. Then we'll perform the demolition, the conduit inspections, confirm that the electric has been cut and severed from the home, that the gas line has been cut and capped, the water line has been cut and capped. I'm learning all about this. And then comes the fun part, the billing. Invoice the demolition costs, because obviously the payment for this has to come from somewhere. We send the bill or put it with the finance director and attach it to taxes. At that point, I get with the Register of Deeds and remove the dangerous building determination letter from their file at the Register of Deeds. And that mostly puts an end to all this, and we move on to the next one, unfortunately. All notices are sent certified and registered mail. All notices are 10 days before the meeting. Determinations are effective upon mailing. So as soon as the determination is made with the Housing Board of Appeals or you folks, the next day that I work, I will be typing up the letter and submitting the letter to the homeowner or building owner. I post the notices on the property, like I said. Some steps require 30 days waiting periods before I can proceed. And no permits are allowed after the Housing Board of Appeals determination unless granted. Any questions, comments, concerns?
Thank you, gentlemen. Commissioners? Anything you wish to ask?
Just a comment for me.
Commissioner German.
Oh, yes. Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Chief Kozo and Mr. Scouts, if I pronounce your name correctly. No, I just want to say more of a comment. Thank you for sharing this information and making the public aware. I sat on the Housing Board of Appeals. That was one of the first subcommittees I sat on as a commissioner. And I've seen a lot of, citizens and business owners come through and don't understand the process. This is a way of educating and making them feel more welcoming that the city is willing to work with them. And I really appreciate that. So I just wanted to share that comment with you. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner German.
Yeah.
Commissioner St. Clair?
Thank you. I would concur. I think this is really useful information. I think it was my first or second commission meeting. I think we had 3 houses come to us for demo, and I would have benefited from this then. So I would recommend that you roll this back out every 2 years with each new commission so that they get an oversight of what the process is and what their obligations are, because it's a heavy thing. It's not an easy decision to make, and I know I felt very under-equipped to make that call.
Appreciate that. I think one of the things that we also want to do is put this so it's readily available for anybody to be able to see, on our website. We'll work with Nancy and others to get get like a flow chart, you know, and then have something that's an avenue for questions to be asked. I've been involved with this since I've been here. I hear it all the time. Just call. We want to work with you. Just call. We want to work with you on this because the city doesn't want to keep people out or doesn't want to raise buildings if they can be rehabbed.
Commissioner Kilgo.
Thank you. Thank you, Chief, and for the presentation. I also used to sit on the HBA board. I have a couple questions. Are we back to having regular HBA meetings now? Okay.
Forum now.
Okay. I knew that there were some changes with the department and some people who stepped off the board. So even if it's not declaring homes, you know, every month, sometimes owners who get those notices, that kicks them into gear to get the house fixed, because as much as we don't want to tear down buildings, we don't want dangerous things to happen in some of these buildings that are unsafe in the city. So I definitely want to make sure that we're continuing to have those meetings, because sometimes it does get the owner of the building on track to getting those things fixed, or even finding where they can get help, because some people that have come to our meetings before, they can find out where they can get help or who the right people to talk to are to get those things taken care of. So
Very much so. We might have a list of 5 houses that are going to be in front of HBA. By the time we sit and we're ready for the meeting, 4 of them are already removed because the owners are already come forward that day or the prior 24 hours to try it. They've cut permits, they're starting to work on things, but we follow up. We do make sure that we're doing what we're doing. I appreciate it. We want to make sure that our buildings are also safe. If you remember correctly, probably within the last year, we had to take down a building in an emergency. First Street. So those that we determined that's moving, it's going to be unsafe, and the city manager, you know, made a decision and notified the commission that we had to do it, and it was a situation we had to do it immediately for the public safety.
thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Goshen, anything to ask Brad at this time?
I feel like it's already been said. You know, I think that this presentation is very helpful for newer commissioners to understand the process of, you know, the dangerous buildings, and I appreciate all the work that you guys put into it, and I'm looking forward to seeing it again in the future when we have, you know, another election cycle for the new commissioners, as well as, you know, any of the people who are going through the process, or people who are related to those people, so they can help understand what's going on, and just really appreciate you guys putting that together. Thank you.
Commissioner Goshen. Thank you, gentlemen. Really appreciate this. Good information. And thank you for presenting to the commission and our community about the dangerous building enforcement process, and look forward to seeing additional information being put together that's going to be on our website, so we can share it with our community constituents as well.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
All right. Before we get on with public hearings, I actually would like to do a last minute addition to honors awards and presentations, and that is to invite up the, without objection from the commission, and I'd like to invite up the Delta Sigma Theta, if you all are ready. They had reached out wanting to arrange a presentation, and it didn't work out to get added as a presentation this time, so they're like, well, we'll just come at the end and do public comment. This looks like it could be a lengthy meeting. You all are here. And so I would like to invite you up now, if you're ready, to address the City Commission.
Good evening, Mayor Ken Johnson, Vice Mayor Destiny Keener, and the Commissioners of the City of Muskegon, excuse me. My name is Shamika Johnson, President of the Muskegon Heights Alumni Chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, and I bring greetings on behalf of our membership. We are honored to be here with you this evening as we celebrate 113 years in Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated and prepare to celebrate 50 years of the Muskegon Heights Alumni Chapter on December 12th of this year. For 5 decades, our chapter has remained committed to the vision and legacy of our founders and charter members through service, advocacy, and community engagement. Our work continues to center around Delta Sigma Theta's 5-point programmatic thrust: economic development, educational development, international awareness and involvement, physical and mental health, and political awareness and involvement. We recognize that the City of Muskegon recently held an election on May 5th, and we want to acknowledge the important work of the city clerk, election workers, and local leadership in ensuring that the democratic process remains accessible to secure for residents. As a chapter deeply committed to civic engagement and voter education, we are currently developing a comprehensive civic engagement strategy focused on voter education, voter rights, and community awareness. Through this effort, we hope to partner with the city clerk's office, local elected officials, community organizations to ensure residents are informed about local, state, and national elections, understanding voting rights, and remain engaged in the democratic process. We have also followed the city's housing efforts and understand the important role that home ownership plays in generational wealth, particularly within the Black community. We hope to collaborate with the community leaders and partners to help educate residents on home ownership opportunities, available resources, and pathways to long-term economic stability. In addition, our chapter has continued advocating for Black maternal health and access to mental health services. We recognize the disparities in the community to impact Black mothers and underserved communities, and we hope to strengthen partnerships with elected officials, healthcare providers, and community organizations to ensure residents have access to support and resources they need. For 50 years, the Muskegon Heights Alumni Chapter has remained a pillar in this community. We will continue to advocate, empower, educate, and build meaningful relationships that strengthen and support the Black community and broader Muskegon area. We look forward to working alongside you and all of your continuing efforts to make the City of Muskegon a safe, informed, healthy, and thriving community for all. Thank you.
Thank you, President Johnson. President Johnson, if you don't mind, real quick, if you're open to any questions from the commission, since we have you and you're desiring to present. Commissioners, do you have any questions? You don't have to, but I just want to make it available. Commissioner Kilgo.
Thank you. Ms. Johnson, thank you, and all the members, the alumni that are here today. I also am passionate about home ownership education and helping and voter education, those things that you were talking about. How can people help support our local chapter, the Deltas? How can they get in touch with you all to help support your chapter?
Well, you can definitely email us if you go to our website, which is mhacdeltas.org. You can contact us there. We have active participation on Facebook as well. But any of our membership, if you contact any member directly, we'll make sure that we get whatever message you want delivered, and hopefully to myself or anybody on the Social Action Committee.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Kilgo. Great question. All right. Yes, Commissioner Sherman.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. And thank you, Ms. Johnson, and your sorority sisters and the work that you do in the community. I've seen you out there, and I appreciate the initiatives that you all are taking to make our community better, to address the needs of people of color, particularly Black, as you stated, when it comes to certain situations, and educating the public also. So thank you for what you do in the community.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Commissioner Sherman.
Yep.
Thank you.
And thank you, President Johnson. Really appreciate you joining us this evening and your sorors and presenting on the important work and the worthwhile work that you're doing. We are ready, willing, and able to partner with you for the betterment of our community.
You will definitely hear from us in the near future.
Excellent. Looking forward to it.
Thank you.
Take care and be well. That brings us now to public hearings, and our first public hearing is, first, if y'all don't want to stick around, we're not going to be offended if you want to depart. But you are more than welcome to stay with us throughout the remainder of our meeting.
It's riveting, absolutely riveting.
All right. We're going to get started with public hearing, Neighborhood Enterprise Zone Certificates, 312 Edison Court, 313 Edison Court, and 315 Edison Court. Good evening. If you kindly introduce yourself and please report out on this item.
Absolutely. Isabella Gonzalez, Development Analyst for the City of Muskegon. So we received 3 applications from Fish Partners LLC for Neighborhood Enterprise Zone Certificates. This is for the construction of single-family homes at 312, 313, and 315 Edison Court. They will feature 3 bedrooms and 2.5 bathrooms in 312 and 313. And then in 315 Edison Court, it'll feature 4 bedrooms and 2.5 bathrooms. The proposed homes are located in an existing NEZ district towards around Harbor 31. And the estimated project cost for each of these homes is $575,000. The Neighborhood Enterprise Zone Act provides for the development and rehabilitation of residential housing located in eligible distressed communities. Approval of these applications would grant the future property owners a tax abatement that reduces their property taxes by approximately 50% for up to 15 years. We also have the developer here to answer any questions.
All right. Thank you, Anis Gonzalez. This is a public hearing. We're going to open it up to anyone in the audience that wishes to give input, and then we will go to the phones. Then we'll close the public hearing. Commissioners have an opportunity to ask questions. We can hear from the developer or the applicant, and the commission can ask any questions of staff or the applicant. So first, opening up to the audience, is there anyone that wishes to give comment as part of the public hearing for the issuance of NEZ certificates for 312, 313, and 315 Edison Court? Seeing no takers in the audience, we're going to go to the phones. That's 231-724-6721. This is an opportunity to phone in comments specifically with regard to this public hearing on the issuance of NEZ certificates. All right, does not sound like we have any takers for phone-in comments. Commissioners, I would entertain a motion.
I move to close the public hearing and approve the Neighborhood Enterprise Zone certificate for 15 years at 312 Edison Court, 313 Edison Court, and 315 Edison Court, and authorize the city clerk and mayor to sign the applications and resolutions.
Support.
All right, we have a motion by Commissioner Kilgo, supported by Commissioner St. Clair. First, I'd like to invite up the applicant. Good evening, sir, and welcome. Can you kindly introduce yourself?
Dave Dusendang, representing Fish Partners LLC.
All right. Anything you wish to share with us before I open up to the commission for any questions they may have?
Nope, Isabella pretty much told you what the sizes were of the homes and where they are. But I'm open for any additional questions that she may not have answered.
Okay. Commissioners, do you have any questions for the applicant while we have him at the podium? Yes, Commissioner German.
Yes, thank you. And Mr. Dusending, thank you. The name kind of threw me off a little bit. I know you work with, you have another company, Urban.
Dave Dusendang Custom Homes, West Urban Properties, and now we're doing Fish Partners LLC over at the Viridian Development.
Okay, so this is something that you just started, or this is a new company, or?
Well, it's a new, a new partnership formed for the Viridian portion of the Harbor 31 development that we've already currently built 11 standing homes that are on the water, and we have 3 more started right now, and we have 2 more on the books to put in, foundations to put in. So we took that, or we're taking it over kind of like a 4 lot at a time purchase until that development is built out. Okay. So we've already been over there for the last 3 years now, and but we're taking ownership of lots at 4 at a time. Okay,
yeah, because I knew you was doing some work there, but not under the name that you have now. Okay.
Correct. Yeah, we brought in two extra partners, additional partners, to take over the Viridian development.
Okay, and the partners that you have, how long have they worked in this area, or the I would say experience of building? Evidently, I'm quite sure.
But they're more of the investment portion of it. The building is just done by my company only.
Okay. All right. That's all I have. Thank you.
Sure, no problem.
Thank you, Commissioner German. Commissioner Kilgo.
Thank you. Mr. Dusendang, thank you for being here this evening. I have several comments, but it's for an agenda item that we have, so I'm going to save some of those comments for the specific agenda item, because this is about the NEZ for the Edison Street ones, and I really believe in our NEZ, so I have no problem moving forward with the NEZ, because we're leading the state of Michigan in showing folks how we can build low entry level first time homebuyer stuff, the working class stuff, and the higher end products, right? I used to have my office over there at the GVSU hub. I know the mayor has an office there. So we've seen the development kind of come to life there on the water. I just want to make sure as we're building this neighborhood over there, just north of the Lakeshore Drive or Seaway Drive, we're being good neighbors, that we're all being good neighbors, because we're going to have a hotel over there. We got students and the working people in the GVSU. We have parliamentary law over there. There's a lot of stuff going right there. So like I said, I do have some other comments I'll save for the agenda item that's on here for stuff that's coming. But thank you for what you're doing with continuing to build out. I'd love to see that neighborhood kind of finished up and occupied. Like, let's get them sold and get some families in there.
NEZ is such a huge benefit. And not even just in that development. It was done in Terrace Point Landing, which was a huge benefit, but we're now over in Marquette. We know we build in Nelson, McLaughlin, Campbell. Just on one home that we just did the numbers today, it's a savings of $165 a month. And that's for 15 years per month. So that just made it possible for that homeowner to actually buy the home, because it got them where they needed to be on the payment by reducing it $165 a month. So the NEZ really is it's a bigger, more broad thing than just Viridian Shores. It's great for the whole city, that all the areas it's offered, and especially in all the little, the other neighborhoods from Campbell spanning all the way over to Marquette. So it is very important, and it's a huge, huge benefit.
My last question will be for this one. These ones aren't waterfront, right? The Edison Court's not the ones that are right on Muskegon Lake. They're a couple streets in. What's the price point going to be for those ones?
So those are right now for $575, including the land. Okay. And you're correct. It's just across the street from the waterfront ones. All of the waterfront ones are constructed with the exception of one lot. We haven't started one on that one lot yet, but all of the 12 that are, or 11 of the 12 that are on the actual water are constructed. And the last one will be closing on that one this week.
Awesome. Thank you, sir.
Thanks, Commissioner Kilgo. Any other questions? No? All right. So this reflects, you said you're doing 4 at a time, so this reflects a new approach or tact with the build out of that area, because previously the lots were available for sale, people could buy it and then contract for construction. You're building out 4 at a time and then making them available for sale.
Well, it's still the same. Nothing's changed.
So those are already all under contract, and someone is committed to buying the 3 here.
But the way that our agreement is we take down 4 lots at a time from the current developer, which is here. Which I didn't know you were here tonight when I was seeing you, and so we take down 4 at a time as our LLC, and then we either one build specs on them or 2 we build custom builds. And currently, out of the first 4, we have 1 custom build, and we have 3 specs that are going up. And then we just sold another one, actually, this week. So there'll be 2 custom builds. So we'll have 5 under production over there, all not on the waterfront, but all one street in. Mm-hmm. So we take down 4 at a time. And when we sell these 4, we'll take down 4 more. But they're still open to the general public to come in and do custom builds and buy the lots, and then we design the home. But right now, we currently have 6 different floor plans offered now, and a total of 12 different elevations on those 6 floor plans. But we've got a pretty good extensive portion of a build for development, and also blueprints and different designs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, which these new builds reflect that, the
Correct.
differing designs.
Yeah,
I've had some
different roof lines to change it up for.
People remark on that, seeing them being built. It's like, oh, is that a different developer? Because they noticed the different architectural design relative to the rest, and they liked seeing the variety of housing options there. And great work. I was amazed at the progress they made. I mean, your builders were out there all winter.
Oh yeah,
like
we don't slow down.
And unbelievably challenging conditions, and we're just building. I was surprised.
It took
in
a
seeing
couple
that.
years to get used to the 90-mile-an-hour winds that come across the lake, but we've got it under control.
Yeah, they're hardy.
Yes.
You've got some hardy
There's no lie.
workers. But thank you for joining us this evening, and thank you for continuing to grow with Muskegon.
Always a pleasure.
All right, thank you, Mr. Dusdang. Nope. No, sorry, no. Public hearing's over, but you can ask him sidebar. You can ask him sidebar, but not doing back and forth right now. Thank you. Sorry. Analyst Gonzalez. Thank you.
All set? Thank you.
Yep, all set. All right. Analyst Gonzalez, with regard to these NEZ certificates, they can only be made available. I mean, the developers securing them now as they're building them out, but the NEZ certificates and the benefits of NEZ certificates and the tax exemptions only go to owner-occupied homes, correct? So it's not a situation where someone could buy this as a secondary or vacation home or an investment property. It's only if you are owning and living in it, it's an owner-occupied home, that you'd be able to take advantage of the actual tax exemption.
Yes, that is correct. The developer applies for their certificate on behalf of the future or already possible owner. And then the homeowner, once the building is complete, there is a certificate of occupancy and the building permit's completely done. Then the homeowner can apply for the transfer certificate. They just have to have a principal residence exemption affidavit. So they have to be a principal resident here in the city of Muskegon.
Okay, excellent. Thank you, Analyst Gonzalez. Commissioners, any other questions for Analyst Gonzalez? Nope. Thank you. Roll call, please.
Commissioner German,
Yes.
Commissioner Cochin,
Yes.
Commissioner St. Clair,
Yes.
Mayor Johnson,
Yes.
Commissioner Kilgo.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you. Next public hearing is on neighborhood enterprise zone certificates for 541 Katherine Avenue, 551 Katherine Avenue, and 561 Katherine Avenue. Welcome back, Analyst Gonzalez.
Thank you so much. Isabel Gonzalez, Development Analyst for the City of Muskegon. So, we received 3 applications from Habitat for Humanity of Kent County for NEZ certificates for the construction of single-family homes at 54-1, 55-1, and 56-1 Katherine Ave. Each home is estimated to cost $244,012, or $12, to construct. Habitat for Humanity of Kent County intends to sell these homes to households earning up to 80% of the area median income. The applicant has met all local and state requirements for the issuance of NEZs. The Neighborhood Enterprise Zone Act provides for the development and rehabilitation of residential housing located within eligible distressed communities. So this would give those future property owners a tax abatement of up to 50% for 15 years. Up to.
Thank you, Analyst Gonzalez. This is a public hearing, so I'm going to first open it up to anyone in the audience. I don't know if you want to, if your question is applicable here as well to the previous case. No? Okay. If there's anyone in the audience that wishes to give comment as part of this public hearing for the NEZ certificates on Katherine Avenue. Seeing no takers in the audience, we're going to go to the phones. That phone number is 231-724-6721. There's an opportunity to call in as part of a public hearing for the issuance of NEZ certificates for 3 properties on Katherine Avenue. All right, does not look like we have any takers for comment. Commissioners, I would entertain a motion.
I move to close the public hearing and approve neighborhood enterprise zone certificates for 15 years for the properties located at 541 Katherine Avenue, 551 Katherine Avenue, 561 Katherine Avenue, and authorize the city clerk and mayor to sign the applications and resolutions.
Support.
We have a motion by Commissioner St. Clair, supported by Commissioner Cochin. Right. I don't know if the applicant's here and wishes to present. Hey, good evening. Can you introduce yourself?
Good evening. I'm George Visser. I'm Senior Project Manager for Habitat for Humanity of Kent County and Northern Muskegon County.
Welcome, Mr. Visser. Is there anything you wish to share with us?
No, I think it was covered quite well, so I'm happy to take any questions.
Okay. Commissioners, any questions for the applicant? Commissioner Kilgo.
Thank you. Thank you for being here this evening. I actually noticed today or this week on the MLS, the first one that you all did in the city of Muskegon on Ada Street is now on the market available for sale.
Yep.
The sale price on that home is $200,000. What Analyst Gonzalez said, it's going to cost you $240,000 to build these ones on Katherine. What is your projected sales price for those homes? Are you going to sell them at cost or above or below?
We're targeting 165 to 185.
Okay, great. That's awesome news. I just want to make sure that the homes in that particular neighborhood are in that particular neighborhood's price range. I did see that they're connected to Michigan's AMI list, that 80%, depending on how big the family size is. So it gives an opportunity for a family who doesn't make as much money as others to be able to have that dream of home ownership. I would encourage, and I do always encourage some of our developers to partner with lenders, partner with real estate agents, partner with community nonprofits to do some home buyer education courses. They'll help get your home sold that you're building in those neighborhoods, because there's still a need for people to know that they see a new construction house and they don't necessarily correlate, oh, I can buy that. But there are a lot of opportunities for people to be able to own homes in our neighborhoods now with a lot of the programs that we have going. So thank you for what you all are doing, and thank you for coming to the city of Muskegon.
Appreciate that. And since you brought it up, next Tuesday and Wednesday, we'll be offering a homeownership class at the community college. So
awesome. Where can people get more information about that class?
At Habitat northernmuskegon.org.
Thank
you. New website for us.
Thank you, Commissioner Kilgo. Commissioners, anything else to ask of the applicant at this time? Commissioner German and then Commissioner St. Clair.
Yeah, just a point of clarification. Did you say that the homes that's being built now will sell for what, about 165?
Yeah, 165 to 185, depending on income.
Okay. Right, thank you.
Commissioner St. Clair.
Thank you. Can you talk a little bit about your program and how it works?
Yeah, got some notes. So first, homeowners will go to our website. That's the easiest place to engage first. They'll take an eligibility quiz, and then they'll start working with us to find a lender, work with our staff to go through the programs, go through these home education classes. We have a very, basically a bunch of check boxes to make sure that they're ready, their finances are in order, help improve their credit scores, and then teach them how to be a homeowner, how to maintain their houses, and how to live in the community that they're living in. Once all that's complete, we offer them a dedication, which is open to anybody in the community, and then we close on the house. So.
Thank you. I know we, for many years, had a Habitat for Humanity organization here and have not had them for a while, and I'm gratified to see you back in the community, and am excited to see us moving forward. So thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner St. Clair. Thank you, Mr. Visser. Appreciate you joining us this evening, and appreciate Habitat for Humanity returning to Muskegon County and building homes again here.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions for staff before we go to roll call? Nope. All right. Roll call, please.
Commissioner German,
Yes.
Commissioner Cochin,
Yes.
Commissioner St. Clair,
Yes.
Mayor Johnson,
Yes.
Commissioner Kilgo.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you. Next up is a public hearing for the issuance of an obsolete property certificate at 1937 Lakeshore Drive. Welcome back. If you'd kindly introduce yourself once more and report out on this item.
Absolutely. Isabella Gonzalez, Development Analyst with the City of Muskegon. So today, we received an application from Lakeside Development Properties LLC for the property located at 1937 Lakeshore Drive for a obsolete property rehabilitation certificate. So they requested the issuance of it for 1937 Lakeshore Drive. If approved, the property's taxable value would be frozen at the pre-rehabilitation level for the duration of the certificate. So the obsolete property rehabilitation district for this site was was previously established by the City Commission in 2019. The applicant is proposing the redevelopment of the former Harbor Theater, so you guys have heard about this project a little bit. And it'll now be known as the Encore at Harbor Theater project. It has an estimated total project cost of over $3.6 million. The project has previously been in front of the Commission before for multiple incentive-related actions, including the approval of a commercial redevelopment abatement, and the establishment of a neighborhood enterprise zone certificate. Additionally, a prior obsolete property rehabilitation certificate was associated with the property and was revoked. At the time of initial incentive discussions, staff recommended utilization of incentives under PA 255, that is the Commercial Redevelopment Act. However, that program, along with our Commercial Rehabilitation Act, PA 210, expired at the end of 2025 and has not been extended by state legislature. While the state Senate has approved the legislation to extend the program, it is not advanced in the state house. At this time, there are no current tax abatements for this property, so the Commercial Redevelopment Act abatement is not applied to this property at all at the moment. Given the project timeline and anticipated construction start in the spring, we recommended that they apply for the obsolete property rehabilitation certificate. The city's internal tax committee has reviewed the application and supporting documentation, and based on its analysis, scored the project for approximately 8 years. So that is what we are, I guess, presenting to you today. We have the developers here for questions.
All right. Thank you, Anis Gonzalez. This is a public hearing, so we're going to start there. Is there anyone in the audience that wishes to give input with regard to the issuance of an obsolete property certificate for 1937 Lakeshore Drive? All right, I see no takers in the audience. We're going to go to the phones. 231-724-6721. This is an opportunity for phone and comments specifically with regard to a public hearing on the issuance of an obsolete property certificate. All right, we're caught up. There's a bit of a lag between when I announce that and when people hear it on Facebook and live, so I always have to wait a bit. But we are past that lag. Commissioners, I would entertain a motion.
I move to close the public hearing and approve the attached resolution for an issuance of an obsolete property rehabilitation certificate for 1937 Lakeshore Drive and authorize the city clerk and mayor to sign.
Support.
All right, we got a motion by Commissioner St. Clair, supported by Commissioner German. Do we have any questions for staff for that one? We have heard from the applicant 2 times, I believe, already and presented. So don't necessarily want to rehash things, particularly we've got a lot more things to cover this evening. But if we have questions for Anis Gonzalez or the developer, is it? I see Commissioner Cochin first. Is it a question for developer or Anis Gonzalez?
Anis Gonzalez.
Staff? Developer? Okay. All right then. Anis Gonzalez, you come on back, and Commissioner Cochin, then we'll go to Commissioner Kilgo.
Thank you very much, Anis Gonzalez. My only question in regards to this certificate is, it's being recommended for 8 years. Is that the normal amount of time that we recommend that certificate to be renewed for or presented for?
So we have a 1 to 10 year timeline that is based on the scoring criteria of our tax incentive committee. And so the project fell within the parameters of the 8 years and did not qualify for a full 10-year abatement.
I see. Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Commissioner Cochin. Commissioner Kilgo.
Thank you. Is this also the same address as item P on the consent agenda?
Yes.
The development and reimbursement agreement?
For a brownfield, yes.
Okay. Can you tell me, and for the commission, the difference between this development and reimbursement agreement that's on the consent agenda versus this obsolete property certificate, the difference in those two?
So what I can speak on is the Oprah certificate.
Okay.
That is, it's under the act that's operated by the state. And so we are able to abate their taxes at the pre-rehabilitation level, which the assessor receives and gives a statement of obsolescence in order to do that. So their taxes will be frozen when it comes to the developer and reimbursement agreement that you're referencing, that is part of the Brownfield, and that is an agreement that was between the BRA and the developer. I'm unfortunately not able to speak on much about that at this time.
Thank you.
If you get the answer to that question, will we not need to pull that off consent agenda?
Yeah.
Okay, this is what I want to make sure if we can avoid that. Alice Hines, could you kindly?
I will do it. Analyst Hines, City of Muskegon. So the development and reimbursement agreement is just like Analyst Gonzalez mentioned, is the agreement between the Brownfield Redevelopment Authority and the developer. And so like if the Brownfield plan is approved at the next public hearing, then that means that it just creates the timeline and the structure around how they're supposed to be reimbursed for their eligible activities tied to their Brownfield.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Thank you. And that's based on the incremental tax growth as a
Yes.
result of their investment in the property itself.
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Thank you, Alice Hines. All right. Any other questions for Alice Gonzalez? No? All right. I don't want to be remiss. I want to give an opportunity to the applicant. If you do have a burning desire to address the commission, you don't have to. Okay. You hear, you applied. I want to give you that at least the opportunity. Okay. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Cochin?
Yes.
Commissioner St. Clair?
Yes.
Mayor Johnson?
Yes.
Commissioner Kilgo?
Yes.
Commissioner German?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you. Next public hearing and our final public hearing. This is with regard to Brownfield Plan Amendment for Encore at Harbor Theater, Lakeside Development Properties. This is the property that was just referenced in the previous public hearing at 1937 Lakeshore Drive. Welcome back.
Good evening, Development Analyst Hines, City of Muskegon. This is a public hearing for the Brownfield Plan Amendment for Encore at Harbor Theater, which is 1937 Lakeshore Drive by Lakeside Development Properties. So the Brownfield Plan Amendment was approved by the Brownfield Redevelopment Authority on April 14th. So the proposed amendment will facilitate the redevelopment of the Harbor Theater. So the way the Brownfield works is that through tax increments, the developer is able to be reimbursed for eligible activities around this project. So if you look at the cover sheet here, you'll see some of the eligible activities are infrastructure and safety, demolition, brownfield plan preparation, implementation, and administrative costs, and local brownfield revolving fund. So reimbursement will start on 2027 and will extend through 2052. They should be fully reimbursed through 2049. After that time, the local brownfield revolving fund should be able to collect additional funds to go into our fund to support other activities around development. This brownfield plan will be dictated by Neighborhood Enterprise Zone and by the OPRA that you all just approved, so that extends the timeline of the brownfield due to less tax capture because it does have an OPRA and Neighborhood Enterprise Zone on the property. Just to kind of give further context, according to the housing needs assessment, there is a demonstrated need to have houses at this price point. I know some, attest to the higher price points for some of that housing, but the housing needs assessment does show that there is a demonstrated need for housing at this price point. So this is a public hearing revolving around the Brownfield Plan Amendment for eligible activities for this particular development.
Thank you, Alice Hines. We're going to open up to the audience if there's anyone wish to give public comment as part of this hearing. All right, seeing no takers, we're going to go to the phones. That number is 231-724-6721. This is an opportunity to give comment specifically with regard to a public hearing on the Brownfield Plan Amendment for Encore at Harbor Theater by Lakeside Development Properties, LLC.
We do have a call.
All right. Good evening. You're with the City Commission. You wish to give input on the Brownfield Plan Amendment?
Yeah, I've been trying to call in now for about 10 minutes because your phone system doesn't work.
All right. Well, good evening, Mr. Olson from Lakeside.
Beg pardon?
If you state your
Okay,
name
my
and proceed
question-
with your
My
remarks.
question is about 3 agenda items ago about the new places down around Viridian and Edison. Now you hang up on me.
No, we have not. I think you've got bad connection on your end. This is specifically
No,
with
it's
regard
not
to.
on my end.
This is specifically with regard to a public hearing on a Brownfield
Yes, it
plan
is.
amendment. We can't accept input or comments outside of this particular topic at this time. But you are welcome to call back
Well,
under.
I've been trying to call in since the first one about.
I understand that, sir, but we are legally constrained to speaking only on this item as part of this public hearing. If you have additional comments or questions, I encourage you to avail yourself
Point of order,
the
Mr.
general
Mayor.
public comment. at
Point
the
of
end.
order.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yes, I'm taking care of this, Commissioner Kilgo.
Thank you. I'd like to make a motion to let this gentleman speak.
We can't. This is a public. This is a public. No, legal counsel.
I understand.
We've been constrained. We have to keep it only to this. There's no deviation, not even a commission rules.
I understand. I would like to make a motion to suspend. I'm sorry, Mr. Mayor.
Commissioner Kilgo.
If no one agrees with me.
Point of order, Commissioner Kilgo. That is not an option. We are legally constrained. We cannot
Brownfield
suspend the
development
commission rules.
Didn't include.
Excuse me, sir.
Decades ago, it did not include residential housing, okay? On contaminated places like Continental Teledyne.
Excuse me, sir. You do need to keep your remarks specific to the Brownfield Plan Amendment for Encore at Harbor Theater, 1937 Lakeshore Drive.
Well, I couldn't get through to you.
I understand that, sir. You are welcome to call under general public comment to share your concerns. You're also welcome to email the City Commission at citycommission@shorelinecity.com to convey your concerns and pose any follow-up questions.
Thanks a bunch.
Thank you, sir.
Point of information, council. If I make a motion to suspend the rules, I can't make motions? Is that what the mayor was telling me?
This wouldn't be a matter of suspending the rules, at least with respect to this public comment, that during this public hearing, any content has to be related to this. So I suppose the suspension would be to table the public hearing or suspend the public hearing to allow for public comment outside of the scope of the public hearing, but that while in the public hearing, the content has to remain strictly to the public hearing itself.
Thank you.
Thank you, Council. And I appreciate your intent, Commissioner Kogo, but we do have restrictions, parameters we have to adhere to. Did you get any other phone calls, Madam Clerk?
No.
Okay. Commissioners, I would entertain a motion.
I move to close the public hearing and approve the attached resolution and authorize the mayor and city clerk to sign.
All right, well, motion by Commissioner St. Clair, supported by Commissioner German. Is there any additional comments or questions on this item? No? All right, roll call, please.
Commissioner Cochin?
Yes.
Mayor Johnson?
Yes.
Commissioner Kilgo?
Yes.
Commissioner German?
Yes.
Commissioner St. Clair?
Yes.
Motion passes.
All right, thank you. Well, that concludes our public hearings. Now we're going to go on to federal, state, county officials updates if we have, or from our tribal partners. Do we have anyone joining us? Any of our federal, state, county, or tribal partners? Seeing none, we're going to go on to public comment on agenda items. And sir, if you're still listening, we do have an items regarding the area that you were speaking on. It is item P, development and reimbursement agreement for Encore. Nope, I'm sorry. It is L.
Item L.
L, amendment to Harbor 31 Plan Unit Development. So, sir, if you are still listening, you will have an opportunity to phone in and give public comment on an agenda item, and specifically with regard to item L. But first, I'm going to go to the audience. Is there anyone in the audience that wishes to give comment on an agenda item or items? Oh, I do have public comment. Sorry. Mr. Murphy, Kevin Murphy, joining us from Jackson Hill neighborhood.
Hello, my name is Kevin Murphy from 142 Viridian Drive. I'm the president of LSCA. We're a 4-unit condo, also known as the fourplex. I guess that was a historic name. We're very excited to support growth and also be good neighbors, and we also welcome everybody down to the boardwalk and to visit. And Mayor, thank you for visiting us last Sunday, or a couple Sundays ago. You were down there. I couldn't grab you, but my report is very clear. On April 16th, I presented my concern about the two public access paths and signage and rules and regulations that have been delayed since 2022 PUD number 3 from Harbor 31. I've been in constant communication with the owners, Dan and his partners. I can report that Mike Hausman, one of the partners, and I are working diligently on both the signage and public access points. So I commend Harbor 31's leadership. We are also looking to clear an encroachment issue on the electrical panels that were put in on the docks. So I think things are moving. What really concerns me, though, at the meeting on the 16th, there was an issue with regards to the 200 feet of Viridian Drive. It's like a spine. And what's there is a concern that there's road safety, parking reductions, and also roadway being designed on the fly at that meeting. It was a lot of work being done at that meeting. None of the public really knew about it. So what I'd like to just say is that the project was a 20 townhouse division with independent driveways. What we learned on the 16th was it's a 48 apartment buildings, and we're all in favor for growth. However, there's going to be some real significant pressure on the Viridian Drive area. It was described as wonky. It was curved versus straight. Public Works said that the road goes directly into a fence and a hydrant, unsafe during dark and weather, and no wayfinding. Public Works also said that time is now for a long-term solution. We're very concerned about the area. We need signs. I know I'm running out of time, but there's also a shortfall of parking. There's at least 90 on-site parking needed, about 35% shortfall. Besides LFCA is Parmenter, Grand Valley, the 48 units on this 200-foot strip of Viridian Shores. And we really need to figure out a solution because something's bad it's going to happen. And I've been waiting on the phone since April 18th. I sent the developer an email and haven't heard from him. So
Thank you, Mr. Murphy.
I'd really like to hear from him on the safety of Viridian Shore on that spine.
Thank you, Mr. Murphy. Appreciate you joining us this evening. Is there anyone else in the audience that wishes to give comment on an agenda item or items? Seeing no takers, we're going to go to the phones. Again, to the gentleman who tried calling in before and speaking on this item, you have an opportunity now to phone in. The phone number is 231-724-6721. There's an opportunity to give input on any of our remaining agenda items for this evening. When you call in, please turn down any audio in the background, state your name, and which agenda items you're speaking on. I'm going to wait a little extra long this time. The gentleman was having an issue calling in. You don't happen to have his phone number, do you?
You do have a call right now.
Okay.
It's not the same.
It was me.
Not the
I
same.
just was testing to make sure it worked.
Oh.
Testing.
It works.
I tested earlier and I just said that they
Yeah.
were five from.
Well, we're doubly testing it
They
then.
were not at the correct time.
Okay.
So
Do you have a way to call the gentleman back
I do have the.
through the system?
Yep.
Hi, this is 7805.
If you can give me that number and I'll call the gentleman later and try to have a one-on-one conversation with him. So, thank you. All right. Didn't sound like we have any other callers. Then commissioners. Got an opportunity to review the consent agenda. Are there any items that you wish to have removed and for separate vote and consideration? Commissioner German.
Yeah, item K and O.
Commissioner Kilgo.
Item L, M, and N.
L, M, and N.
Yes.
Okay. Commissioner St. Clair.
Item Q.
Commissioner Coach, I saw your hand, but for your items pulled? Yep. Okay. So if there are no other items, I would entertain a motion to adopt the consent agenda as presented, minus items K, L, M, N, O, and Q.
So moved.
Or
We have a motion by Commissioner Kilgo, supported by Commissioner Cochin. If there are no quick thoughts on the consent, we're going to go to roll call.
Mayor Johnson,
Yes.
Commissioner Kilgo,
Yes.
Commissioner German,
Yes.
Commissioner Cochin,
yes.
Commissioner St. Clair.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you. First item, Commissioner German, Steel Middle School Purchase and Development Agreement.
All right, thank you, Mayor. Let's see. I move to approve the purchase, the purchase and development agreement as presented. Authorize the mayor and clerk to sign.
Support.
A motion by Commissioner German, supported by Commissioner Kilgo. And who is leading out on this? You're going to be? All
I
right.
believe so. Good evening, Commissioners. Brennan Gorman, City Attorney, reading out on behalf of Mr. Ekholm. He and I have been working with the developer on this project for the past couple of months now. Our involvement in this project began at the request of the public school system. The developer has a very awesome, Mr. Thrower, development plan that's two phases. First phase being a housing project. The other one is the redevelopment of the Steele Middle School. The public school wanted the city involved, particularly as it relates to the middle school property, to make sure that in the event of non-performance regarding the development of the school itself, that the city could retain ownership of that parcel to avoid it becoming a blight in the neighborhood. In the development agreement itself, it first splits the parcels. Right now there's only one parcel, the first parcel into the housing development portion. Mr. Thrower and the developer would take ownership of that parcel right off the bat. The city would take ownership of the Steele Middle School parcel. Once certain metrics have been met by the developer, they would have the option to exercise and purchase the Steele Middle School parcel from the city, at which point there would still be additional milestones that would need to be met. And as long as those milestones are met, they maintain ownership of the Steele Middle School parcel. If those are not met, then the city would have the ability to revert ownership over the Steele Middle School parcel. I believe we have the developer here today for any questions.
Thank you, Councilor Gorman, for presenting on the contours and framework of the agreement. Good evening, sir. If you could kindly introduce yourself.
Yes, my name is Rashard Thrower from the Q9 Development Company. I appreciate you all for having me here.
Mr. Thrower, we appreciate you being here. And if you would like to delve into some more of the details about your project and the development that you're pursuing.
Yes, so we are looking to do an adaptive reuse of Steele Middle School, formerly Muskegon Middle School. I'm also a former Lancer myself, so go Lancers.
Go Lancers.
Yeah, we wanted to make sure that this parcel was beneficial to the entire community. So with that, we worked with our local Muskegon public school system and also the city of Muskegon to make sure that we were able to provide something that was just mutually beneficial to the youth and also the elderly. So now we can move forward after a long months of negotiations. As Brandon knows, it's been an uphill battle, but it just feels so promising that now we're at the finish line. So I appreciate everybody who's given me a vote of confidence, especially this is a big thing. This is a big moment, just betting on Big Reds more than anything else. Like, you're really setting the tone for the next era of Big Reds to say, hey, we can diversify our output. We don't have to just be stuck in one stagnant place of athleticism. We can also, maneuver in a lot of different areas. So yeah, this is going to be beneficial. But just to go into a little bit more details as far as the development overall, we are going to first go into the housing sector. We're providing 3 different layouts. One of them is going to be around 1,167 square feet. The next one will be about 1,497 square feet and about 1,828 square feet for the last one. We're looking at price points to build around $233 to potentially around $329, but we are also looking at ways to mitigate those costs because we want to make it financially feasible, especially for the neighborhood, right? And that also works with my past experience working in the banking industry. So we're looking to start up a nonprofit organization. That way we can put this into a community land trust and reduce the price of those homes, so that way it's a lot more attainable. So if we were to give a option, let's say, just giving some quick math real quick, if we were looking at about, let's say for the 1,167 square foot house, about $233,000, $233,400. If we involve a CLT on that situation, we could reduce that between $25,000 to $45,000. So if we did reduce it by $25,000, that would make that property $208,000 for the individual to purchase, or we can have it reduced by up to $188,000. So yeah, and then after that, we go into the next part, which is going to be the sports complex. Oh, that's going to be the crown jewel. I can't wait. That's going to be amazing. 8 full basketball courts, 2 college-style basketball courts. One of them we're going to have completely blacked out just so that way we can keep the essence of that Muskegon big red grit. On top of that, we'll have a few different tracks, have a sprint track, an aerial track on the second floor. I actually give that credit to Matt Cortez. I like to take some influence from our leaders as well. And then also we'll have some media broadcasting, pickleball court. Some people like to get their pickleball on. And then also for those that have a golf fetish, we will also have a couple golf bays as well. So it's going to be a fully functional, a very diverse location, but also we're looking to partner up with some local healthcare systems to provide like a physical therapy option and other things like that. So yeah, it's audacious, but that's a big red for you, right?
Mm-hmm. Amen. Thank you so much, Mr. Thrower. Very exciting, and so many wonderful elements involved with this. I'm going to open up to questions, comments from the commission, and Commissioner German.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mayor, and thank you, Mr. Thor.
Sir.
I pulled this off the agenda because I rode past former Steel School. I'm a Lancer myself.
Yes, sir.
Played on that football field, the gridiron. Played a little basketball, swam in the pool, all of that.
Fell in the gully.
Yep. Hey, that too. That one too.
Yep.
Okay. But no, I was curious when something would be done with this property, and I know you had an invested interest in it, and I believe your brother also. Also, you both are partners. And the one question I want to start out with, because I spoke with someone in the neighborhood, and I see they established a Steel neighborhood association now.
Yep.
Okay, and the concerns, and can you tell me what were their thoughts about this development in the community there?
So there was some roses and thorns, a lot more roses than thorns, but one of those things were we initially put out a layout that introduced an apartment complex for the back half of the school. We heard a lot of naysayers on that. They was like, no, we want to keep the integrity of the community as it stands right now with single-family housing. If we do duplexes or anything like that, that may be okay. But if you're doing something that's multifamily, that's moving beyond what the general neighborhood has already come to know and love. So with that, we understood that feeling and that sentiment. We went back and recalibrated and, just went full sports complex instead of even having an apartment layout involved in it. So we just went single family full out, providing what the neighborhood is asking for and keeping it consistent.
Yeah, and I think that's really important to get input from the public, neighborhood association, because these taxpayers have been invested in the community. As you know, you grew up in that neighborhood. I'm quite sure your parents are proud of both of you, and my condolences also to your late mother. We graduated the same year, class of 80.
She does.
So
yep, 1980.
Yeah, so I'm excited, of the momentum that, you and your persistence that you're doing and want to see this project come into fruition. So thank you for your diligence on staying persistent.
Appreciate it. I appreciate the same.
Yeah.
Commissioner Kilgo?
Thank you. Mr. Thrower, thank you for being here this evening.
Sir.
I have been rooting for you. So this project is not only in my ward, but it's in my neighborhood. So the back half of the football field, I went to those meetings at the Steel neighborhood and other neighborhood associations where they did say things like, we don't want big apartment buildings, we want single family housing. I am it does bother me a little bit that there may be naysayers who don't believe in you, right? Hence how long it took for this agreement to come through, but it's here, right? So the agreement says performance, right? So we need you to perform.
Of course.
Right? The Lady Reds were in here, state champions tonight, right? Your facility can train our next state champions in football, basketball, in all of the sports, right? We don't have anything like this right here in Muskegon, right? But it would be a world-class training facility where we could train our next state champions, right? So I definitely am looking forward to not only the affordable housing portion coming, but the complex getting finished in itself, right? And not, this is just somebody who's coming into Muskegon. This is a born and bred Big Red, right? So we're rooting, right? We're rooting for you. I do have a couple of questions. So for the housing part, they're planning to extend Oak Grove and Oak Avenue, some of those streets, because right now there's no street that goes into the football field. It kind of stops there on Amity. They're planning to extend a couple of streets to make a new neighborhood back there.
So we worked with the city engineers on that situation. Instead, what we're just going to do is have it a circular situation where you just come in and exit out from Oak Avenue.
Okay.
Because it would have been a lot to ask from, well, it would have been a lot just to extend Oak Grove into that section, but then also when we were looking at having an additional entry and exit area, we were looking at Madison as well. That one actually lined up perfectly from the city grid, but it would have just did a lot. We would have had to ask a few other people that already have probably lived there for 20 plus years to, hey, you want to
cut back?
Yeah, you want to make some concessions real quick? And I'm like, that's just that. I mean, like you said, we already got a couple of naysayers. I don't want to add on to that. Right. So I was just like, you know what? Let's just go ahead and do a workaround.
I guess my only other thing is, continue to work with the neighbors, the Steel Neighborhood Association.
Definitely.
Right? There's some good timelines, like, right, the first one is like 5 years, if I'm not mistaken, right, to get things going.
Yep. but continue to dot all your I's and cross all your T's, because we don't even want to get near that timeline, right? We're already good. We're rolling on to the next portion, whether that's the middle school. I know what I was going to say now. So the Muskegon Public Schools had a grant for Steel Middle School. And that grant, part of that grant said that it can't sit there vacant and blighted and deteriorate like some other older buildings in the city have in the past. So that's one of the reasons for this is the Muskegon Public Schools wants to see your vision come to life. But because of that grant, they can't have the building just sit there. So as all the timelines come up, we are looking forward to seeing this. And I've talked to people in the neighborhood, and they're really looking forward to seeing this come to the neighborhood, right? So thank you, and good luck with the whole project, sir. Appreciate it. I really do. And just to give you a little heads up too, we've already started going through preliminary stages, started incurring those soft costs. So just actually had a meeting yesterday with SME, so that way we can start knocking out the environmental. Once we got this part taken care of, we start going environmental and geotechnical, and then after that, hey, infrastructure stuff.
Thank you, Commissioner Kilgo. Commissioner Cochin?
Thank you. Thank you very much for putting all this together, and as everybody else has kind of echoed tonight, really listening to the neighbors and the people who live around where you're planning on, making this development happen. I think that that's crucial and something that the people really appreciate. So thank you for doing that. The one question that I had in regards to all of this is the sports facilities, and you kind of alluded to it with Commissioner Kilgo, but I just want to make sure, you have plans to be having working relationships with our school system, with our college, to make sure that this facility will be available for utilization.
Oh, of course. Brandon knows this as well as the legal counsel for MPS as well. We actually structured in a, a 4-hour window, I want to say, per athletic department, to make sure that they can utilize the facility, so 4 hours a month, pays dividends. And another thing too, and one of the biggest reasons why I wanted to make sure that this happened, as you all know, my baby brother is the first Mr. Basketball of the city of Muskegon, also 28-0 winner. Yeah, I got to brag on my little brother. But also a 2018 Fair State National Championship winner in basketball as well. So we got a champion here, people. But on top of that, one of the biggest things that we've noticed as he was coming up, we started a AYBT team called West Michigan Ballers. We won a national championship with that. Shout out to Mr. Jim Gorman off of that. But what we didn't have was a specific location where we could always use to practice. We would have to go to Christ Temple Apostolic Faith Church, just use their gym from time to time. We would use Nelson. We may use Oakview. We would, which option, Marquette, Steele sometimes. And it became more of a nuisance after a while, because you don't have any place that you can call home. So now we are able to have that specific location, plus all of the extra things that we'll be able to provide on top of that. We are literally going to make Muskegon the West Michigan sports capital, right? And then on top of that, I can't wait for the AAU weekends. Oh, the economic development, the cash cow that's going to come from that. The hotels, the people that's going to be frequenting all of our restaurants as they travel in town from Indiana, Illinois, Wisconsin, Ohio, all of these different locations. Matter of fact, and then here's the best part about it too, as we've already kind of spoke about, my little brother runs an AAU program here, and it's one of the premier AAU programs that's been connected to Puma. So now we'll host Puma events, we'll be able to host Prep Hoops events, we'll be able to host Nike EYBL events, we'll be able to do so much that we can really put a spotlight on Muskegon in a way that we really haven't had, because we're in West Michigan. For some odd reason, we have to always fight twice or 3 times as harder just to get the same recognition. So if we're able to at least alleviate that in some way, shape, or form, I'm willing to do it.
And then just to follow up on that, thing that I think that is really important to myself and to several other members on this commission is having places for after-school programs to be able to go. Do you feel like your hours will be able to facilitate that and your prices might be able to facilitate that?
It would.
Okay.
And also, I'm so glad that you brought this up. I just released a layout with the 24 to 48 hours in which it will have an indoor playground as well.
Nice.
It's going to be pretty nice.
Thank you.
Just gets better and better.
I know, right? I'm just adding on stuff. It's just going to be a lot. But like I said, you can go right to the Facebook page and you can actually see it. I plan to put it out on the Q9 Development Facebook page as well. But it's just, I'm excited. I'm just ready to see this come to fruition. It's been a long, hard-fought battle. But I appreciate all of the stakeholders. That's been a voice of reason, a voice of confidence, a voice of support. And even with you all have been giving so much support to this. The Muskegon Public School leadership has given so much support to this. Matter of fact, brother man right there. So I just appreciate everybody and legal counsel as well. We had to go through so much, so much, and a lot of phone calls, a lot of meetings, but we got to the finish line, man.
Crossing all those T's and dotting all those I's. Commissioner St. Clair, did you have anything that you wish to ask or share?
Just that I'm happy to see where we are and excited to support this.
Measure twice and cut once, sometimes even 3 times, just to be sure.
Indeed. While you're up there, does Mr. DeShawn wish to come up to the podium and say anything or share anything with us? No. Mr. Richard Thrower, we very much.
Is that what?
Absolutely, absolutely. I echo that. We very much appreciate your contributions and commitment to our community as a fellow Lancer and a fellow Big Red, and also apparently a fellow baby of Hackley Hospital.
Oh, man.
I'm so grateful for you, and this would have been wonderful. You know, growing up. I know you grew up in just a few streets away, blocks away from Steele. I grew up a few blocks away, as well from there, and this would have been just a wonderful asset to have. And it's going to be a wonderful asset to have for this community, and not just in Muskegon, but the wider region, really. And it's going to help us further unlock the great potential that we have in our community here and the excellence. And you're just going to be able to take that to the next level. And I'm so excited about the athletic complex and the center you're developing there. But the housing component is I know you're starting there, and we need it. It's very much needed, but it is a chef's kiss.
Yes.
Being able to have that and be able to have the community land trust. Like, I think you're going to be the first community land trust in the city of Muskegon.
Oh, I almost, here's the thing too, I almost forgot this because, this is why I kind of appreciate Brennan and them so much. My past is in banking. So I worked in private banking and also as an anti-money laundering professional. And with working with these financial institutions, you understand what they need. So you have to speak so many different languages. You have to be more like bilingual, really. So with that in mind, we actually are creating a Q9 home buyers program as well to lower the barrier of entry for individuals to be able to acquire those homes. So like right now, we're doing this with United Bank. As you probably already know, Cara Novak, she's doing a lot of great developments around here as well. But yeah, we've that's going to potentially reduce, the closing cost, and also we may be able to do a reduction off of the down payments as well, but more so closing costs and getting those things taken care of. So trying, man, trying to, do a lot, but I'm my mother's son, so I'm my mother and father's son, Nina and Lloyd Thrower's son, so I can't half step.
Well, we love it, and we appreciate your passion, your persistence, and so grateful that you went and got the knowledge, those experiences, the education, and bringing it back and investing in our community. So thank you for choosing to grow with Muskegon.
So I appreciate y'all for the vote of confidence.
Here, here. And all the best to you. Oh, and can you quickly share how, if someone wants to come alongside and support you, how best to reach you?
You can contact me via email at Rashard Thrower, Rashard, last name Thrower, like flamethrower, but without the flame, THROWER at thetheq-9.com, or you can contact me on Facebook. You can also go to our website, q9homes.com. We actually are, it's in the building blocks parts because, you know, you got to do a lot of stuff. But you can also still contact us there as well, and we'll be able to respond back to you.
Excellent.
And also our Facebook pages, Q9 Development Company.
All right. Thank you again, Mr. Thrower.
Appreciate you guys.
Best of luck. All right. Commissioners, any final thoughts before we go to vote? All right. Roll call, please.
Mayor Johnson,
Yes.
Commissioner Kilgo,
Yes.
Commissioner German,
Yes.
Commissioner Koshin,
Yes.
Commissioner St. Clair.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you. Congratulations. Moving on up. All right. That concludes item K, Steel Middle School Purchase and Development Agreement. Next item is amendment to the Harbor 31 Plan Unit Development. Before we entertain that motion, though, I have been informed that we are going to be losing one commissioner at 8 o'clock. And we do have a closed session item to address, and it requires a minimum of 5 affirmative votes to go into closed session, in which case if we want to do that now or if we want to hold off until closer to 8, because it takes 5 to get in, but it doesn't take 5 to get out. It just takes 4 to get out of closed session. And so I don't know what exactly this item entails. I know but I don't know the intricacies of what's going to be asked of us. I know what the subject matter is, but not the intricacies of what's going to be asked of us. So I'm going to defer to legal counsel and our city manager if they would refer us to go into closed session now or consider this item, then go into closed session on the amendment to the Harbor 31 Plan Unit Development.
I mean, as long as we get in before, or next one, confirm you have to be on by 8.
Yeah.
Okay. So, I mean, we could probably get through more agenda before we go in, but depends on how much time you want.
Okay.
For each of the
I think,
items.
yeah, it shouldn't.
So we're going to try to get through this next item before we go to closed session. Commissioner Kilgo.
I move to request to amend the Harbor 31 Plan Unit Development for new residential development at 170 Viridian Drive and to amend the waterfront access paths within Harbor 31 be approved with the following condition. 1, the stormwater permit must be updated with the engineering department. 2, the certificate of occupancy for the meadows are not issued until the western path to the boardwalk is constructed and usable and includes a public access sign.
Support.
We have a motion by Commissioner Kilgo, supported by Commissioner St. Clair. Good evening. Can you introduce yourself and please report out on this item?
Good evening, Mike Franzek, the Planning Director. This development includes 4 separate buildings, apartment buildings with 12 units each for a total of 48 units. There will be 67 off-street parking spaces, so that's about 1.5 per unit. Our zoning ordinance only requires 1. In the form-based code, it actually maxes out at 1. The underlying zoning here is form-based code, but we do feel it's appropriate to let them have a little bit extra with the rest of the developments going on in the development. The entire PUD. There are 61 spaces also available on Viridian Drive, so that's not counting Terrace Street because we know there's going to be some commercial there probably, but just going on Viridian, there's about 61 parking spaces. We've talked to the Public Works Director. He's indicated that on the north side of the street, it will be fine to park cars on the north side. And let's see, a portion of the property is zoned wetlands, or are wetlands, and that's why the development pattern has changed. It was originally going to be about 20 townhomes, but that was not feasible due to the wetlands in the middle of the property that restricts development. A very small portion of the GVSU parking lot next door is on this lot, so that is going to have to change. We've been in communication with GVSU and they do plan on getting with us to amend that parking situation. It doesn't look like they're going to lose too many spaces, if any. The Planning Commission did unanimously recommend approval of the amendment to the PUD with 5 conditions. 3 of those conditions have been met and have been updated on the site plan. So I have struck those from the recommended conditions. The conditions were that the stormwater permit must be updated with the engineering department. That's pretty standard. This one, the certificate of occupancies for the meadows are not issued until the western path to the boardwalk is constructed and usable and includes a public access sign. We think that's a fair compromise to allow the development to get started while still ensuring that we will have that access point to the boardwalk very soon. There was also a condition that any street trees removed for terrace parking must be replaced somewhere else within Harbor 31. And the landscaping plan shall be revised to include 10 additional canopy trees, and that the drive entrance to the north side of the development to be realigned, because that's where it got a little confusing when you come into the development and the other housing developments in the same area. That has been realigned as well and has gotten the blessing from our Public Works Department. And so those last three conditions have been met, and we're just asking for those two mentioned in the staff report. And we do have the developer here tonight for any questions.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Franzik. Questions for staff before I call the developer?
Yes.
Commissioner Kilgo.
Thank you. Mr. Franzik, my concerns with, like, I feel we have a great planning committee, and I'm not on it, but I believe you guys know, like, we've made some great progress in the city of Muskegon. So I'm not questioning the unanimous putting this forward, but I do have a couple of issues. I know that it changed. I would love to have had it be townhouses, but it's not my development. They've moved to apartments. I get it. Again, I spoke earlier about I used to go to Viridian Drive every day because my office was over there in the past. And we have a housing unit, the LFCA, who has already been there. We have the Viridian Shores townhouses that are there. And then we have the Innovation Hub, which once a week, twice a week, once a month, twice a month, 10 times a month, often has bigger gatherings at their facility. And then their parking lot fills up, and then cars are parked along the street there on Viridian Drive or other places. Sometimes they park in the law office's parking lot. Sometimes they park in private properties parking lot. You did mention that this unit is going to have more parking spaces, 67 versus 40 units?
48 units.
48 units. But we know that, you know, some households are two-car households, husband, wife, so on and so forth. So it doesn't necessarily mean that there will be open parking spaces. I guess my question, with all that being said, my two questions. One is, I don't know if it's called something else, and if we could maybe click on, Madam Clerk, if we could click on proposed site plan, the next one down, Meadows, Western Access, and then go all the way to the bottom and pull that map up for me. The color map should be at the bottom. So at the north part of this, or the top, I'll say the top, that street kind of curves around where the Viridian Shores clubhouse pool area is, comes down, and then goes back up towards the fourplex that's already there. It looks like that street is going to be narrower to not encroach on the fourplex's property. It's going to be kind of a choke point there with the street. Is that right? Because it's not going straight. The street looks like it kind of curves back to the north. Like it'll be narrower in places and wider in other places. You kind of see where I'm talking about.
Are you talking about in the top right-hand corner where the road connects to the private drive?
Yes.
Yes. They had an additional 8 parking spaces there, but we didn't feel that was safe with the traffic coming in and out, and then the way the road was positioned. So the Public Works Director really wanted to see some improvements, so that'd be a little safer to go through, because we're going to have, like you noted, 3 different developments people going to. So we thought that instead of placing 8 additional parking spaces there, it would be a lot safer to just realign the road and use that space.
Perfect. Do you mind if I approach and show him? Thank you. So
that street gonna be narrower here and wider here? This is the part, because this would be the fourplex's property.
Oh, yes.
Right here, correct?
Yes.
And then we have a car coming in and a car coming out. I'm just worried about how narrow this section here is to not encroach on their property there. And then the second thing is, if you could show us, it might not be on this map, where the one condition on here has the public access and the signage, and it says on the western part. Does that mean west of the Parmenter building?
No, thanks. I can clarify that. So there's two proposed paths to the boardwalk. One of them, which I am calling the western access point, is actually just east of Parmenter.
Okay. So between the fourplex and Parmenter?
No, so if you're driving down towards Down Terrace, and you
Yep.
see the lake, it'll be just to the right of Parmenter.
Okay.
Yep, and then there's additional space for development, which they're finalizing not right now with another developer. And there's supposed to be one that is basically on Trilogy's site where it exists now. That one has to change because of the wetlands. There's also wetlands there. If you go down there, you can see by the split rail fencing, there's signs that say you can't develop in this area. And that's where the original access point was. So what we're proposing now is that we require that they put in that western path first. And the plan is when they come back to amend the PUD again for the rest of the development, which they're getting very close to doing, I'm working on a submittal right now, that once they get that figured out, that's when they're going to propose that eastern access path.
Okay. So the one that's on here, the western path, will be the one basically by the turnaround circle?
It'll be,
in
yes,
that-
right in the middle of the circle.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I'm not saying that this isn't right? Like the developer probably, they have their plans, they have their builders, they know what they want to do as far as the development goes, but we're holding the development, like it says, certificate of occupancy not issued until this is done. So that western path that's on it, as it's stated, is saying that this developer has to put in that path that's there at the circle?
Well, it'll most likely be the owner of the entire development, the original owner, Mr. Henriksen. Will be putting that forward. It'll be separate from the meadows, but since it's all part of the same planned unit development, that's just a requirement that will need to be met. That's what we're recommending, so that we can ensure that we get that path most likely this summer.
Right, and since we've basically already approved this, this is just an amendment to the original PUD, because they were gonna go one way, and now we're changing it a little bit. And I understand that PUDs have to change all the time, because we run into stuff like, originally, we didn't really know that this was considered a wetland in the middle of this, right?
Correct.
So, I understand that things happen. I do also have some questions for the developer, but thank you for answering those questions for me.
Thank you, Commissioner Kilgo. Yeah, it is an emergent wetland, so sometimes it's there, sometimes it's not there. But the state is regulating and requiring its preservation. Any questions, any additional questions for staff before we call it the developer? Commissioner Cochin.
Yes. I watched the planning commission meeting, and I know that several of the members were not able to be present that night. And one of them called in and spoke specifically about the proximity of the dumpsters to the existing wetlands. And I'm still seeing that those dumpsters, or at least one of the dumpsters, still in that area. Do we know if that is being planned to be moved, or is that not something that we've discussed with the developer?
No, it actually didn't make its way into any of the conditions. I'm not sure why. Maybe never made the condition made as a comment on the phone. It might site. This is where it's proposed to go, so it wasn't. wasn't a condition on the planning commission, but I believe it was just a recommendation from one of the planning commissioners.
Okay, and then in regards to the proximity to the wetland, can you elaborate on how close we are going to be getting to the wetland with these buildings?
Sure. So there's probably, most of the buildings are set back at least 10 feet from it. Some of the parking lots and pavement get a little bit closer within a couple of feet, but the rule is that you just can't go beyond the fence. So you can go all the way up to it.
Okay, yeah. I definitely hear you. I, as an environmentalist, don't like seeing things that close to a wetland because there's runoff, there's all kinds of stuff that can come out of the dumpsters, as the planning commission member had mentioned on the phone. It just leads to more issues in that wetland, especially with salinity. So that's one of my concerns. In regards to the storm sewers that are proposed, I don't think I saw Director Vanderheide is here tonight. Is that something that we talked about kind of at length at all, or?
So with any development of this size, anything larger than a typical house is going to require probably an amendment to your stormwater plan. And we had one for the entire development, but as projects change a little bit here and there, we're going to need to go back and look at that. So they've already started the process, I believe. They're working with them. It's just usually a condition we put on afterwards. So they've already thought it out. They know they have to do that, so they're planning for it. It's just a separate issue from the actual site plan.
All right, thank you very much. I appreciate that. I'll let somebody else have the floor.
Thank you, Commissioner Cochin. With regard to the dumpsters, those would be required to be enclosed?
Yes, and they are enclosed.
Okay. Before we ask the developer up, is there any additional questions for staff at this time? No? All right. Thank you, Director Franzik.
Yes, thank you.
Kindly come to the podium, introduce yourself.
Chair, good evening. Dan Hendrickson. I am the developer. I'm also the architect and planner, so you get one source here, so I can hopefully answer any question you have. So thank you for allowing us to be here tonight. Been on this project for a long time. I don't know if I know any of you here. Mr. German, I've seen you here a few times. So excited for the progress we're making here at Harbor 31. We've got the hotel's broken ground, as we all know, and that is move along probably a May, June next year of occupancy. So we're finding some stuff in the soil, but that's not unusual for a brownfield site. So we're moving along nicely there. The apartment project, the shape of this development occurred because of the wetland, emerging wetland. 2017 became wetland. 2016 it was not. So it caused us some major grief, if you want to call it that. I hate to call it eagle grief, but they're tough to deal with, as everybody knows. So this was the biggest site we could get from them with still make it a developable site, or else we'd lose the entire site. So Trilogy had to go through the same thing. We had to condense that site a little bit. We lost about 7 acres of land that we could develop on the site. So we've worked our way around it. Looking at this as the architect planner, I said, well, maybe we'll just turn that into an asset. So all these apartment buildings, the living areas face the wetland, so the wetland becomes the meadow. So that's kind of the idea here. The difference between what form-based code and what we're doing allows is parking cannot be in front of the building, and it typically needs to be 40 feet off the road. There's no place for that, so we've been able to put them beside the building, which is as good as we're going to get. We're going to screen that parking the best we're going to do, and these units will be 3 stories, and they'll be nice market-driven rents. So I think it's going to be a great project, about $13 million of total building.
Thank you, Mr. Hendrickson. We're going to go to Commissioner Kogo with questions to start off.
Thank you, and thank you for being here tonight, Mr. Hendrickson. Is it true that one of the electrical boxes from your property is encroaching on the fourplex that was there before Harbor 31?
So Viridian Shores is also my development, and so we put the electrical box in to serve the boat docks that we put in, and the electrical panels are just on the edge of the line, I mean literally, but the support structure that supports them, which is a 4x4, and then we actually put a decorative wall on the side to shield the views. That's on the neighboring property. So we're working with the neighboring property to talk through options. One option was to move it, which is fine, you can do it, just costs a little bit of money and inconvenience. Second option is we're working on a negotiation to keep it there, create an easement in lieu, we'll give them some permission to access the panels somewhere down the road if they do put boat docks in. That's what it looks like. Kevin, correct me if I'm wrong, but that's, I think, where we're landing. So it's a good solution, doesn't cost anybody any money, and gives them the opportunity to tie into our electrical boxes somewhere down the road. So as a neighborly thing, I heard you mention that early on. That's what we're trying to do. It's not been easy, but we're getting there. My partner is a lot nicer than I am, so he's the one that's negotiating that with these guys. So anyway, does that answer your question? Or your question, sorry.
That does answer my question. And so you not only have a neighbor there to the north, but the neighbor to the west, which would be the GVSU Innovation Hub. I just want to make sure, because this will be visually a big change. We'll have 4 3-story buildings now down there. And I just want to make sure that as development moves forward, that we are working with our neighbors, not to nickel and dime anyone, but we want it to be a community for everyone down there. Those businesses, the students that may access the hub, the people who have already lived there for some time, and those new folks that are going to come in and occupy those apartments. We want it to be a community. So I just want to make sure that we're doing that during development. And then after development, are you looking to sell off the apartments or have a property management company that manages them?
Yeah, we've already have a property management company that we've hired to do that. I'm not an apartment manager by any stretch of the imagination. So like Dave Dusding was here a minute ago. I'm not a single-family residential developer. I did the land, I built, designed some of the buildings, and so he's that. That's what he does. So we brought him in. Same with the apartments. Same with the hotel. We have a hotel management company coming in. Trilogy, which you'll see in the near future, is an expansion program there. They're going to create their flagship facility around the country. They have about 100 facilities where they take the 105-bed unit and then they create other opportunities for housing around them. So, and you're going to see that. That's going to be coming up here in the next couple months. So we'll be left with Lot J, which is the one that as you come into Terrace on the left-hand side. And that's the lot that we're looking to do more retail and create that retail environment. But to do that, to have that survive, you need to have people. So that, therefore, the hotel, the Trilogy project, apartments, Flirting Shores, the fourplex, as we're calling it, all of that contributes to the ability to have traffic down there. So that's the last piece. Don't know what it's going to look like quite yet, but we're getting close. Probably a mixed-use development.
And then my last question right now would be this restriction that's on here, which is why it's in front of us tonight. They're not given the certificate of occupancy for this Meadows project until the public access is done with a sign. Do you see yourself running into any complications with getting that part?
I've already talked to Parmental Tool. They're willing to give. We need a few more feet of easement from them to make it. I want it on the center. I'm an architect, so I got to have it on the center of the road as it comes in. So it's a 10-foot wide. It's going to be a little wider than we proposed earlier, and then we're going to have a little seating area down by the end of the walkway. Then we'll have a ramp that goes up, which will be barrier-free access to the boardwalk. There'll be signage at the face of that, so as you walk around the circle, there'll be a sign that's going to say public access, and there'll be a sign that says rules and regulations next, which are still to be determined. So I control that, and then the Trilogy site, I still control that. They have a purchase agreement with me, but I still control that. So at this point, and they're very willing to help us through that.
So I am a nice guy, and I don't want you to think that me or any of the commissioners are grilling you tonight, but we've had other developers here in Muskegon who haven't lived up to their words. So I look forward to you living up to everything that you have in your PUD and have said tonight.
Yes, thank you. I hope I have that reputation. I've owned this property for 20 years, and I've not given up. And something like a boardwalk that has access to walkway has access to the boardwalk is small compared to the things we had to do to get to this point. We'll get that done. We have partners that are people of their word, so that's what we do.
Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Kilgo. That's been a long time coming.
Oh boy,
in this project.
I don't even want to tell you Alderman now and when I started, but
and it's continuing evolving, and you're pivoting as you go, and persevering, going to make it happen. Commissioner St. Clair, support of the motion. Anything to ask of the developer at this time?
Nope.
Sure. All right. Commissioner Koshin or Commissioner German, anything to ask of the developer?
For me, just more of wishing you success continue on the project. I've sat on this commission for a while and seen the momentum and seen when nothing was down there. The vision was always to see something that would benefit the community, enhance the community also, but let Muskegon lead as an example for economic development. And that's what's been happening over the last 10 plus years since I've been on the commission. And I'm actually glad to see developers like yourself come in and do what you do and bring your expertise, but also to beautify our community and work with the city. And I think that's what sets the city of Muskegon apart from other communities, not to take nothing away from them, but I think we lead by examples and partnering with developers and things like yourself. So thank you.
You're welcome. Muskegon's important to me too. I grew up in Coopersville and I played basketball for Coopersville. I got beat by Muskegon Heights in my junior year and senior year, and they won the state championship, I think, both years. So we just ran into a buzzsaw both years, but LC Walker too, which was,
good old days.
It was tough. Kitchen, they dunked right on me, so I don't know if you know who he is, but I mean,
I know all those
just
guys.
about on the first play of the game, that would put us on our heels. So thank you very much. Any other questions?
Thank you, Commissioner German. Do have a question. I am pleased that there's a condition on the precondition that we get the boardwalk access installed before the certificate of occupancy, and I think that is a reflection of past conversations we've had at the commission. So I appreciate staff, working with you on incorporating that sooner than later. And it's going to be really nice. And I agree with you, coming right off of the circle, straight shot, center. It's going to be real nice. I do have a question in walking there, as Mr. Murphy mentioned. I was walking through there a couple Sundays ago, and I noticed, speaking of infrastructure, the electrical panel elsewhere, I noticed right where it looks like the ramp would be going, there's pumps or something that I don't know if those are owned by Parmenter or Tool or what, but there's various infrastructure right there that would connect to the boardwalk, where the ramp would connect to the boardwalk. So I don't know if that infrastructure needs to be relocated or if the ramp's going to be, it's a sprinkler system, irrigation.
So it sounds like it could be moved.
So that might need to be moved, or I don't.
Or tucked under the boardwalk. There's going to be a ramp at that point. So
I did notice that, and I was like, I wonder how y'all are going to navigate that.
Okay.
But this is going to, because we don't have all 7 members here to vote unanimously on this, this will require a second read as a zoning matter. Yeah, okay. So we're going to revisit this at a future meeting to finalize it, assuming that it gets at least 4 votes to move it forward this evening, which I'm fairly confident that will happen. All right, I just wanted to point that out because I noticed that and I was like, it might be a hiccup or something you need to resolve there. But actually, I like this. This is nice. I know it's going to continue evolving. I like the meadows. I like the apartments, having more variety of housing options, and it features the wetlands more, so that it's going to be more visible, nice landscaping. Certainly, some people might want to go this way or go that way, but it's a nice development overall, and it supports the further build out of that whole area, which has gone through so many different iterations over the years. But thank you for your perseverance, and thank you for continuing to grow with Muskegon.
Just I'd be remiss to say that next Tuesday at 11 a.m. will be a groundbreaking ceremony for the hotel. I think some have had invites. I'm not sure everybody has. More than welcome.
Yep, I received it and shared it with the commission, and I certainly will be there.
Okay.
So, see you then. All right, if there's nothing else, roll call, please.
Commissioner German?
Yes.
Commissioner Cochin?
No.
Commissioner St. Clair?
Yes.
Mayor Johnson?
Yes.
Commissioner Kilgo?
Yes.
Motion passes.
All right, this will be coming back to us on, where am I? Likely May 26th. So this will be coming back to us for another vote on May 26th. All right, with that said, we're going to step away from the remaining items on our consent agenda. And who has the motion to go into? Okay, so what's going to happen here is we're going to receive a motion to close session. If it gets affirmative 5, we're going to go into closed session. That does not conclude our commission meeting. We're going to suspend the broadcast for the time being. We're going to go into closed session. We'll come out of closed session and then resume the rest of our commission meeting. Commissioner St. Clair.
I move to go into closed session to consider material exempt from discussion or disclosure under state and federal statute as an attorney-client communication.
Support.
We have a motion by Commissioner St. Clair, supported by Commissioner Kilgo. Roll call, please.
Commissioner German?
Yes.
Commissioner Cochin?
Yes.
Commissioner St. Clair?
Yes.
Mayor Johnson?
Yes.
Commissioner Kilgo?
Yes.
Motion passes.
I have to use the restroom, right? Go ahead.
All right. Good evening, good folks, and welcome back to the City of Muskegon City Commission General Session for this Tuesday, May 12th, 2026. And we're going to pick up right where we left off, which our next item that was pulled from the consent agenda for consideration is item M, purchase a vacant lot at 1338 Arthur for future housing infill. Commissioner Kilgo.
Do K, I pulled K off too.
Yeah, we did K.
We did K.
Oh, did we do K already?
K and
that
L.
was,
I'm sorry.
you did O.
Oh, that was O. Okay,
Yep,
yeah,
you did O.
Okay.
Motion to approve the lot purchase agreement as presented for 1338 Arthur and to authorize the mayor and city clerk to sign.
Or
All right, we have a motion by Commissioner Kilgo, supported by Commissioner St. Clair. And who's reporting out on this item?
That
Might be you, Mr. Manager.
me.
I don't mind amending my motion.
Up here.
I did just have a question. I don't see Mike or Jake from staff here to ask, so I'm still okay with with the motion, but I do have some questions. I think we've talked about it a little bit, Mr. Manager. This particular parcel is 84 feet by 66 feet, meaning with our new zoning code, technically we could put 2 houses on this lot.
Yep.
And so I just wanted to talk a little bit about,
About if it makes sense, like the overall configuration of the lot.
Right.
So I think at this point, what we're doing is just acquiring the lot.
and I'm fine with
yeah,
that. Yep. So we can,
Still subject to
Madam Clerk
Yes.
had to step away, but I'm okay with, doing a motion to,
You're okay with proceeding with the vote?
yes, yes.
All right. Commissioners, anything else to ask or add on this item? No. All right, roll call, please.
Mayor Johnson?
Yes.
Commissioner Kilgo?
Yes.
Commissioner German?
Yes.
Commissioner St. Clair?
yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you. Next item, N, Safe Built Contract Amendment. Commissioner Kilgo.
Yes, motion to approve amended contract.
Support.
We have a motion by Commissioner Kilgo, supported by Commissioner German. Good evening, sir. Kindly introduce yourself and please report out on this item.
Evening, Public Safety Director Tim Kosel. So we presented tonight 2 portions of a proposed amendment to the Safe Built contract. One of the things that was brought to our attention is that Steve Hammond, our fire marshal, does all of the liquor inspections. And used to be Safe Built and fire marshal used to do it together. Now it's just Steve. So we recognize that. We recognize that it wasn't caught when we did the actual contract. I brought it to Safe Built's attention. They totally understand, so we're just asking to strike that from the actual contract, and we'll keep all those fees to ourselves. The second portion of it, there is a area where I talked about the rental program. I noticed there was just some things going on within revenues and expenditures, so I asked them to come in and we sat down and we talked about this particular area because over the last 3 years, I noticed we were taking in just over about 500 in our rental, 500,000 in our rental fees. And we were to keep the first 300 of that and share 50-50 over that. So they agreed that they would allow us to keep the first 400 of those now, and then we would share 50-50 over that. So it was 2, I think, positive moves by Safe Built, in a collaborative measure to allow us to keep a little more revenue out of our building department.
Thank you, Chief Kozel. Commissioner Kilgo.
Thank you. So I don't have any problem with the license fee change and not really a change, but basically just saying who does it. My issues with the rental program fees, I need a little bit of clarification. So the 3% inflator, is this a 3% inflation on what we charge Safe Build that we take in versus what they keep? Or is this a 3% inflation on the fees that we charge landlords or homeowners for their fees?
Nothing passed down to the landlords. This is all between the city and Safeville.
Okay, I just want to make sure that it wasn't necessarily to the landlords or the owners, because they're just going to pass those fees right on to constituents, and I don't want rents to go up unnecessarily because of a fee that we do.
Understand? Nope, this is just between the city and Safeville. It's inflators. We also have inflators built into the contract with them, so there's money going each way on inflator, or we have an inflator on their lease, so we have those things built into the contract. I know that we've had a pretty deep dive look into our total fee schedule for the city, and at some point that will be discussed, but this has nothing to do with that.
Perfect. Thank you, Chief.
Thank you, Commissioner Kilgo. To piggyback on that with regard to the inflator, so that's just between Safebuilt and the city. Is that 3% inflator on the $400,000 number that we keep? Because you said the revenue sharing is $400,000. The first $400,000 we keep, after that it's 50-50. So is it that 3% on that $400,000 base? So such that next year it'd be $412,000 that we'd be keeping, and then it's 50% share, and then it's 3% increase. The year after that.
I would have to get back to you on that, sir. I don't have that. Very good question, but I don't have that specific.
Okay, because I guess I'm just not certain what the 3% inflator applies to.
That was already.
We know it's not
in the
fees, which I'm relieved to hear. We're not,
Yeah.
because that's the purview of the commission each year to set the fee schedule. So we're not obligating ourselves to, set a certain fee, over a number of years. So I'm happy to hear that that's been clarified, which I appreciate Commissioner Kilgo and you, Chief, for clarifying. I'm just a little unclear as to what the 3% inflator does apply to.
And that's something that was already built in the contract. That is no changes that I'm presented to you. That was just listed as the first section that we're making the changes. So I can get that information. We can pass it along to the commission what that actually is.
Okay. So that's the same percentage inflator that's in there now?
Yes.
We're just updating the years? So you said the previous dollar amount was 300,000. Did we see that adjust then?
We just adjusted that third bullet point on there. It used to read 300,000.
I think our legal counsel might have some clarification.
So I was able to pull up the contract as confirmation. And so the section that seeks to amend is the city shall pay Safe Built $27,318.18 per month for the administration of the rental program beginning January 1, 2026. The first bullet point below that, which is what the amendment would replace, is regarding that 3% inflator.
Okay, so it's the payment we're making to them for administering the program.
Correct.
And then the revenue that's generated, it'd be 50-50 split with the first $400,000 coming to us. Okay. But their annual administration fee, that's where the 3% inflator. Okay, thank you for that clarification. Commissioners, anything else to ask Brad before we vote? All right, roll call, please.
Commissioner Kilgo,
Yes.
Commissioner German,
Yes.
Commissioner St. Clair,
Yes.
Mayor Johnson.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you. Thank you, Chief, but don't go anywhere because the next item. Commissioner German, Police Patrol Wage Union Contract Agreement.
Yes, I move to approve the memorandum of agreement between the City of Muskegon and the Fraternal Order of Police Labor Council.
Support.
Okay, motion by Commissioner German, supported by Commissioner Kilgo.
Can you pull up the actual MOU, please? So,
Next.
Oh, sorry.
one more. There you go. Thank you. So in the contract, there's to be determined for the last 2 years. It was that way, I'm sorry, within the contract. We have moved, been working with the city manager and with the union. In our discussions, we decided that we'd rather have the wage increases partly with our fiscal year instead of calendar year. So we started meeting with them, discuss this wage increase, but we would make that as of July 1 of 2026, not January 1 of 2027. So it gives them a little bit of a boost, you know, not only this wage increase, but also gives them it 6 months earlier. So this contract will still run through the 28th of the end of 2028. So we'll be sitting back down at the table with them. They have an understanding that that is our goal to keep moving forward with our wage increases coinciding with our fiscal year. And we worked a lot of numbers. We did a lot of looking into our future and seeing what will work. If you recall back last year, we implemented a retention bonus. They will be getting their second half of that retention bonus on July 1 also. We also moved to the 26 wage in October of last year plus $1. So they're already ahead, trying to be competitive with our, our areas in West Michigan. I will say with this move, with this raise, we are actually a little bit above a couple of our communities that we're competing with. Can't touch some of the other ones yet. I don't know if we ever will be, but our union's very happy with what we presented to them. We also decided, and one of the things I presented is, I want them to top out earlier. It took them a little bit to get to top. You had to really work here for a while, I think up to 10 years, 15 years to be able to get to top. So we decided to move to a scale of start year 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for your wage increases. 5, you would be at that level through like year 5 and year 6, and then year 7, you would top. And we have a good amount of officers that are right in that wage, so I think wage area, and that'll help us with that retention, is knowing that they're gonna top out a lot earlier at a very competitive wage.
Good. Happy to hear that.
Everything that I know that the city manager discussed with you last night about our budget, everything we have already worked in. Hayden already worked in that retention bonus into it, so we have everything baked into it for our upcoming fiscal year.
Excellent. Commissioner German.
Oh, yes, thank you, Mayor, and thank you, Chief Kozo, for that report. Now, let's say, for instance, the officer has 5 years in. With this new contract, he automatically starts at that year 5 wage increase and then tops out at the 2 years after that.
Correct.
So, okay, so that's great. So, yeah, and you talked about being competitive. I know that's been an issue since I've been on the commission. Officers, wasn't really getting paid. And I always say this, they never get paid what they should. I mean, for putting their lives on the line, and I really commend them for that and what they do to protect, the community and the residents here. So I just like to say I'm happy to see this. I support this, and I hope that we can continue to, make improvements to, be competitive also.
I appreciate that, and up to the actual scale just for a moment, I forgot.
In the
Third
cover
page,
sheet
it's on the
or
third
is-
page of this MOU. Right there. One thing that also that we did is we want to be competitive on our starting wage. We were lower than a lot of departments on our starting wage, so we upped that a little bit just to try to be more competitive. Outside of getting $1 a year over the next 2 years, we wanted to be competitive on that start wage. So really what we've done is we've moved it ahead to the July 1 start, and all we did was added $1. Other than the anomaly being in July 1 of 2028 for 7 years plus, that 46 already baked into the prior contract. I think we upped it 50 cents, if I remember correctly. It was an odd number, but we kept that status quo since that was already baked in.
Any follow-up, Commissioner?
No. Like I said, I'm just happy to see, changes being made to support, public safety, our police departments. The work that they do, and yeah, this is good. Good job, Chief.
Thank you.
And then working with the union and staff, and that shows some meaning of the mind, I could say. Yeah.
Thank you, Commissioner German. Commissioner Kilgo.
Thank you. I'm gonna apply in July, if you'll take me with bad knees. I like the way you no, but seriously, I did see that you just graduated from the academy, or
Yes.
hired 2 new
Yes.
officers?
Yes.
Awesome. Congratulations. I know that's getting us closer
the numbers where we want to be. So hopefully this will help get us to that number where we want to be at, Chief.
Appreciate that. We actually have 2 that just went into the academy.
Awesome.
Also, and right now we have posted, and we actually just extended an offer on a lateral that will be coming here. So we're excited about that. We also have recruits that we're planning on putting in August for the next academy. We have 3 that we have done backgrounds on and psych, so we're real close on those 3. It's a very diverse group, but we immediately just reopened again, if you saw on our Facebook, for more, because we want to put 6 in. So that will get us hopefully up to that level of, close to that level of 72 that we're actually earmarked for the next fiscal year.
Awesome. Thank you and your officers for what you do.
Thank you, Commissioner Kilgo. Speaking of the new officers, happy to welcome them aboard, and just so you know, and the rest of our police department and public safety division know, all of our new officers and all of our new firefighters have a standing invitation to come to the any city commission meeting and introduce themselves and be welcomed. Now, for the new, can you can you share with the community, because we are actively recruiting, and you said you're looking to get at least 3 more to go into the academy. Can you share with our community, what that process is? And what that entails.
So you can just go right on our website. We have one of those little box things, I can't remember what they're called. You can actually click it with your phone and apply.
QR code.
QR code, there we go. You can see I'm with the times, sorry. You can go right to our webpage, you can do that. There's no requirement for any type of college education. There's only a high school or GED equivalent. That's pretty much the baseline that we have right now. Then we ask that you have to pass your employment, it's for licensing, the MCOLS test. It's a physical test. We actually do that in-house now, so we can bring people right here and do that. And they can do the testing. We bought the equipment. We always had to ask people to go elsewhere, and we felt we wanted to just keep them here, so we actually do that in-house now with a couple of our officers. And then what we do is, from there, all those applicants will then be HR then takes the reins on it for a little while and does all what they do to meet the minimum requirements for that. And then we start our interview process. So we welcome anybody. We love to be local. A lot of the people that we've had just recently, especially those 3 that we're hoping to put in the academy, are all within the general area, which is great. Then they want to stay. So keep working on that to keep people local.
Excellent. And then once we do approve them to go to the academy, then we'll pay them that same recruit wage,
yes,
which we're looking at up into $26 an hour. So we'll pay them the recruit wage while they're in the academy, and they have a very good chance of joining our police department once they graduate from the academy.
Definitely. I mean, we pay for their academy, and they actually get a wage while they're there. And it's a 16-week. One of the academies is a 16-week, the other one's 17 weeks. We go between GRCC and GVSU for our academies.
All right.
It's been very successful.
Excellent. Thank you. Commissioners, anything else to ask or add with regard to the union contract agreement wage adjustments? No. All right. Well, thank you so much for your work on this. Thank you to our police officers as always. And I'm pleased to see us becoming more competitive. It's a continuous process, but I'm pleased with the progress. And we're going to get there in terms of having a full complement of police officers. And I appreciate all your work on that and the dedication of our officers.
Thank you.
Oh, roll call. I was about to jump to the next item. Roll call.
Commissioner German?
Yes.
Commissioner St. Clair?
Yes.
Mayor Johnson?
Yes.
Commissioner Kilgo?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you. Next item, Q, Muskegon Farmers Market Grant and Professional Services Authorization. Commissioner St. Clair.
I move to accept the state MDARD grant funding in the amount of $481,267 and authorize the city clerk to sign the professional services authorization agreement.
Support.
We got a motion by Commissioner St. Clair, supported by Commissioner German. And this is being reported our clerk.
This was a much more vibrant presentation 2 hours ago, but
Yes.
yeah, I'm really excited to say that we have gotten an NDARD grant for $481,000 thanks to, well, Pete was very essential, and I forgot, he's got a huge long title, I don't remember it as Pete Wills did a fantastic job with that. We really appreciate that. And from that, we are going to be doing some expansion in the kitchen of refrigeration system and the freezer system in there. And we're going to be making some improvements to the barn area that's up. We're negotiating what those improvements could be. We're going to be doing some fundraising, so it will really very much depend on what those fundraising, what we can raise. We would love to do some expansion in our restrooms as well. That wouldn't be covered under this grant, but if we could, with the fundraising dollars, we could possibly do that. So the potential is limitless. We're super excited about it.
Okay. Excellent. And potentially maybe incorporating solar panels, potentially in the future renovations.
There's lots of potential. Lots of potential.
But no, great work. I so appreciate you and Director Wills and our team at the Farmers Market for pursuing these dollars, securing them, and making improvements. And I know Kitchen 242 desperately needs more space, particularly cooling and refrigeration and having additional storage as well. So a lot of great improvements. But I'm going to hand it over to Commissioner St. Clair, who made the motion.
I don't have any questions about this. I just wanted to make sure that we had an opportunity to. I am a long lover of the farmers market, and I serve on the advisory committee as a commission liaison. And I know that this is something that you guys have worked really hard to get this grant, and it's no small achievement. And I just wanted to make sure that we said these things out loud so that the people could hear. So I'm looking forward to seeing what we can do with this. And I know that, Madam Clerk, you have long had plans for doing some cool things with the barn. And
Yes, but Director Wills has indicated I cannot speak of that at this moment, so. But yes, no, there's a lot of dreams and aspirations, and I'm very excited about it.
I won't ask you to talk about what those are just yet, but I know this is a big dream that has been out there for a while, and I think that we'll continue to grow the market in neat and exciting ways. So.
Thank you, Commissioner St. Clair. And I forgot who made it. Commissioner German, you supported that motion, right?
Oh,
Commissioner German, you have anything to ask, Brad?
No, basically just more of a comment to our clerk. Good job, as always. You actually took this, I would say, concern with the farmers market seriously, and even employees that you've had work and volunteer time had nothing to say but good things about working there and working with you as a city clerk. So any type of funding we could get to enhance and improve our services and the farmers market is an essential piece to the city. And I just like to say good job as always. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Thank you, Commissioner German. Commissioner Kilgo, anything to ask, Brad? All right, thank you. Roll call, please.
Commissioner German?
Yes.
Commissioner St. Clair?
Yes.
Mayor Johnson?
Yes.
Commissioner Kilgo?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you. All right, that concludes our consent agenda. We don't have any unfinished business, so we're going to move on to new business. And that's concurrence with the Housing Board of Appeals notice in order to demolish 779 Yuba Street.
Director, Public Safety Director Tim Kozel.
Steve Stout, Inspections Department.
We just lost quorum.
Oh. We have to temporarily pause ourselves until we restore quorum. Because they're just fell below 4.
Oh, sorry. To Yuba?
And we're back.
Okay.
Oh.
On or around May 4th.
Hold on a second.
No, I'm sorry?
Sorry, we don't have quorum until.
Yeah, we have to suspend business
Yeah.
until we get quorum back.
You don't have photos? No. Okay. All right, just making sure.
Did you say we don't have photos?
He said no. What?
There's photos at the
The
bottom
photos
of
are
the.
next.
The next one,
Like if
pick
you click
one.
down to the next on the
Pick-
bottom left. No, in like the left hand.
Oh. Yeah.
It's late.
Pictures are
Sorry.
important.
Let us help you.
Okay, here we go.
I'm just saying, Jonathan. You got it.
Oh.
No, I'm saying you can go tell him that.
Oh.
He might, I don't think he knows.
Doesn't realize
is he
that
aware
we're-
that-
I don't think he realizes
I-
that we're.
Yeah.
Waiting on him.
Yeah.
If it was a normal quorum,
It wouldn't have been a big
we
deal.
can keep going, but we can't keep going.
This has been one unusual evening.
Now we're back.
Oh.
Oh, you're good.
we should.
All right, please resume.
Right, well, it's pretty clear why we're here tonight, but I'll get into the basic details here. On around May 14th, 2024, staff observed the exterior of the structure had begun to deteriorate at an alarming rate, including falling bricks, crumbling foundation. A dangerous building inspection confirmed extensive damage. Exterior walls were bowing outward and had gone out of plumb. Following the inspection, staff contacted the owners and provided time to get their affairs in order after explaining the requirements of the dangerous building ordinance for the city of Muskegon. And the next steps, in May of 2024, the owners expressed interest in remediation and agreed to schedule an inspection with the inspections department. When no further action occurred, staff extended an additional 2 weeks in August of 2024 before ultimately issuing a notice and order to continued inaction. In February of 2025, a Housing Board of Appeals notice was sent to the owners and responded by scheduling an inspection. Due to the unsecured and long vacant state of the building, staff coordinated with the police department for an initial safety sweep. Upon arrival, staff determined and discovered that the north wall had partially collapsed. Given the extent of the structural damage, the chief building official deemed an interior inspection unsafe and unable to be accomplished. May 14th of 2024, a dangerous building complaint was sent to owners. August 13th of 2024, a notice and order was sent and posted. On September 18th, 2024, a 10-day notice of Housing Board of Appeal hearing was sent and posted. On October 29th, 2024, a 10-day notice of Housing Board of Appeals was sent and posted. This is kind of going back and forth. And then on July 7th, 2025, a 10-day notice of Housing Board of Appeals was sent and posted. August 7th, 2025, a Housing Board of Appeals determination letter was sent and posted. On 4/15/2026, I sent and posted a hearing notification for a hearing in front of the City Council. This meeting is on May 12th. All notices that were sent first class and certified mail, and I physically posted to the building too and photographed it, as I said earlier. On 4/16/26, when I posted that and took photos, I'm sitting there in my car preparing for that, and I'm looking and I'm seeing smoke rolling out of the building. And I'm, checking myself going, am I actually seeing smoke? I was seeing smoke. I called 911, had the fire department respond. They found a homeless guy inside cooking. It's a very, very dangerous situation, and we've resecured the building, but you know how people can be. They want to get into some of these buildings and hide from people and do things that they do. I don't know. But
Have had no communication with the owners?
No.
Whatsoever, of all the posts that have been posted and the mailings?
Okay. Thank you, gentlemen. Commissioner Kilgo.
Thank you. This house was declared by the HBA when it sat on the HBA. And it came in front of us multiple times while I was on the HBA. There have been reports of people living, occupying this building, and I've driven past and looked at this building multiple times, and it does have dangerously structurally unsound conditions. So there would need to be a ton of money put into this building, but because we've not gotten a response as a city, I don't see the owner of this building looking to make this building safe. So I would concur with the recommendation to demolish this building at this time.
Thank you, Commissioner Kilgo. Commissioner St. Clair, Commissioner German.
Do we have a motion?
I don't know. It sounded like you made a motion right there.
I move to concur
But,
with the Housing Board of Appeals decision to demolish.
Support.
All right, we have a formal motion now by Commissioner St. Clair, supported by Commissioner Kilgo.
And yes, I do agree. It's clear that it's an unsafe structure and that Safe Built has gone through all of the necessary steps to make sure that the owner has an opportunity to make it right, and they have not done so.
Thank you, Commissioner St. Clair. Commissioner German, do you have anything to ask at this time?
Yeah, I'm in agreements as well and concur. Actually, I was part of that meeting. Public safety officer and Chief Kozel also wears a couple hats. Safe Build inspector. Went through all the necessary steps and explaining the rationale about why this building should be demolished. As you can see from the photos, it's pretty obvious. So I'm in concurrence with it also being demolished. Support that recommendation.
Thank you, Commissioner German.
Yep.
Before we go to vote, I do want to, I don't think anyone's in here, but anyone's representing 779 Yuba Street, at least giving a call. I don't think the property owner or the representative's here. I'm making a public call for. I don't see anyone. All right. We're going to go to vote. Roll call, please.
Commissioner St. Clair?
Yes.
Mayor Johnson?
Yes.
Commissioner Kilgo?
Yes.
Commissioner German?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you. All right. Thank you, Mr. Stout.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chief Kozel. Before we get on with general public comment, I'd like to address an incident that happened in our greater Muskegon community this past weekend. Saturday evening in a neighboring municipality, which residents of our community were there, residents of other communities there, other school districts there. It was not a official school sanctioned event. It was an after prom party with members from different schools and different communities there. Unfortunately, violence broke out outside of the event in the parking lot, and there were shootings, and there were individuals that were injured by vehicle, including one of whom is still in the hospital with serious injury, a young woman from our community who's undergone surgery. And I don't have a prepared statement. I'm going to be just speaking from the heart and also just somewhat stream of consciousness. So please excuse me, particularly because this is a long evening and I don't want to belabor this. But in the aftermath of that, saw a lot of commentary from individuals, some of whom are in our community, some of whom are not in our community, who had some very damaging things to say, harmful things to say, completely unnecessary things to say about the students in our community, wherever they may come from. A lot of, and tinged with racism at the same time. And it's absolutely disgusting. Absolutely disgusting that folks would speak about our youth in that way. And not just the youth of our community, but the youth of our neighboring communities. Thankfully, nobody died at that event. Several were injured physically, while many more were injured emotionally and mentally. It was a traumatic experience. And if we want to break the cycle, people speak about cycles of violence, and too often people want to point fingers here, there, and everywhere else. It's a multifaceted issue. There's a lot of different factors and elements that go into violence, youth violence, gun violence. What's critically important is that we love on our youth, that we support our youth, that we invest in our youth. And I'm heartened and happy that our community took that action at the ballot box last Tuesday to vote and support investing in our youth. Just as our community did in 2020, in May of 2020, at the start of the pandemic, when the world was looking uncertain, finances were looking precarious, but our community said, no, we're going to dig deeper into our pockets and invest in our youth. And Muskegon Public Schools is making great strides with such excellence. We saw that excellence this evening on a number of fronts, not just the Muskegon High School Lady Reds basketball team, the champion basketball team, but with graduates of Muskegon High School, Deshaun and Rashard Thrower, and the work that they're doing. There's so much excellence in our community and amongst our youth and in our schools. And I wish that we in the media would highlight that more. Let that be the story that leads and that gets attention, is the tremendous excellence in our community. For instance, the Jordan Williams was one of the person who was hit by a vehicle and has undergone surgery. She made her own dress. She designed that dress. She created that dress, and it was a beautiful dress. That's excellence. That should be celebrated. That should be getting attention, not the fact that she happened to been harmed because of some individuals who don't know how to process their emotions and lashed out. Now, there's a lot of unknown answers at this time. There's still questions, there's still information to be collected. And we don't have the whole story. It is my understanding that this didn't happen in our city, but we are assisting as we can, and it's primarily through the major crime task force or major case.
Muskegon Major Case Initiative.
Muskegon Major Case Initiative. That we have detectives that are involved with that, and so we are assisting in that capacity. But it's incumbent upon our entire community to take ownership of our public safety. So if folks know anything about this, you need to share that information. Reach out. to whether it's the Fruitport Township Police Department, Muskegon Police Department, Silent Observer, share information. You know something, say something. We have to take ownership of the safety of our community. And violence is unacceptable. And we as adults need to be those role models for our youth as well. And how we conduct ourselves and what we say, particularly about the youth in our community. And so, just to wrap this up, just let's continue to find ways to love and support and cherish our youth. Because they're worth it. And our community and our future is worth it. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Is there anything else, commissioners, you would like to raise under any other? I'm sorry, I'm getting emotional. All right, then we're going to go to a general public comment. Is there any? Oh, yes, Mr. Kwame. I have your form somewhere. Mr. Kwame James, welcome from the Lakeside neighborhood. You have up to 3 minutes to provide your remarks.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, Commission. I am interested in highlighting the work of our mayor, in fact, in collaboration with all of you on the commission. We witnessed earlier an incident where a gentleman called for during our public hearing time, and he was meaning to refer to his comments to another public hearing, and so he was sort of out of order in a way, and the effort that went into accommodating this gentleman's comment is a hallmark of this commission and how it engages with the public, and it's unusual, and it's worthy of some celebration. So bravo, all of you are doing a tremendous thing for the community by being as accessible as we are here, and that isn't by accident. That is very much a function of the work of our mayor from the time that he has been in office, not, from like day one as mayor, when he had greater latitude to really instantiate our current standards. But even when he was on the commission as a commissioner, he was doing the work of preparing this commission for this level of engagement and appreciation of the input of the community. And so, like, what we have going in Muskegon right now, the surge of sort of community collaboration, that's with businesses, that's with nonprofits, and but just among the citizens, and just the feeling of community that has been growing over these past 4 years, but 10, 12 years. Like this is a wave of community spirit that I think we owe in large part to the magnificent mayor of this magnificent city, Ken Johnson. So I just wanted to make a second, take a second to mention that for us all, as you, because it is worthy of our consideration. We got a good one, y'all. Amen.
Thank you, Mr. James. You're too kind. I appreciate you. Is there anyone else in the audience that wishes to give public comment? All right, we're going to go to the phones. That's 231-724-6721. When you're calling, please turn down the audio in the background. State your name, and if you're a City of Muskegon resident, which neighborhood you're calling from, and if you're not a City of Muskegon resident, which other township, village, or city you may be calling from. The lag just caught up, so we'll give it just a few more moments. All right, does not sound like we have any callers or phone-in comments. Commissioners, what's your pleasure?
Motion to adjourn.
Support.
We have a motion by Commissioner St. Clair, supported by Commissioner Kilgo to adjourn. All in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed, same sign.
Oh, okay.
We are adjourned. Thank you. Take care and be well.